Oh, come on! I need to stop this, but... Fuck my life. Sorry, so excuse my French. Oh, hey! Oh, hey! Hello, people! Oh my god! Where did all of you come from? That is sudden. Oh gosh, I expected you to take way longer. Okay, then first of all let's check the stream quality. Can you hear me just fine? Can you hear me? Just tell me if you can hear me fine and if you can see everything. As you can see, I've already... we are like ninjas. As you can see, I already have a sketch here and everything. Nice. Good. So then let's get this started. So, of course the chat is already talking about Persona. Well, I'm not drawing Persona today though. As everybody who follows my blog knows, I have a lot more fandoms than just Persona. It just happens to be that Persona is what my most popular videos are all about. But there was some pretty big stuff going on with Steven Universe, so I've been drawing some Steven Universe fanfic. Fanfic? I'm drawing fanfic. That's a skill. Drawing every single word. No, I've been drawing some Steven Universe fan art, and I'm going to be finishing this one. This is just a sketch, as you can tell by the fact that it's very And meanwhile, I'm going to answer you guys' questions as I tend to do during these. Yes, I am into stuff that isn't Persona. I know it's shocking. I'm going to be finishing this piece here while you guys ask me questions. And yeah, the questions can be about anything. So okay. Yeah, bigger than Nick's true form. That was kind of it was kind of amazing. So yeah, just a thing ahead of time. If any of you guys who are here right now are even remotely interested in Steven Universe and haven't seen the latest episodes yet, you might want to get off the stream. Mostly because I don't want to spoil you on these episodes because they are pretty damn amazing. But I also want to talk about them because that's why I'm drawing this. It's pretty damn cool. And I'm gonna talk about Persona as well. If you ask me questions, you can ask me questions about anything. My anime list of mine that I put up on my blog. Pretty much anything. But, I just want to make you aware that this is also a chance to ask me about that thing. And, oh god, I'm not starting out well. So, I'm gonna start drawing now, because that's what I'm here for. And in case you can't tell, I put on some Steven Universe music in the background, because obviously when I'm drawing Steven Universe, it should kind of fit. Originally, I was thinking about putting on some music by Fabricatus, whose music has a pretty fitting style for the series in my opinion, so I tend to listen to it a lot when coming up with fan art for the series, because that's not the first time I've drawn fan art for it, but I was thinking I think it would be more fitting to use the actual music from the show. So. Okay, poor Esteban Universidad, he is a god now. Well, yeah, that's actually some... Yeah, that's kind of what this fan art is all about. I mean, look at it. I mean, you kind of can see what I was going for here. It's pretty obvious. I'm going for ultimate irony. Don't put that crown on him. He just wants to eat fry bits. Don't do that, girl. Seriously, she screwed up everything ever. She spoiled brat. I mean, sorry, I still love her, but spoiled brat. So the one fan theory was true all along, yes. I actually recorded a video about me talking about that, but I need to... Actually, that's part of the reason why I'm recording this stream right now, because I kind of want to put the speed draw into it as visuals, because while I was recording the video, I didn't realize it, but I have sort of a tick where I close my eyes a lot and it looks really stupid. And when I recorded the game theory video, I actually managed to avoid it, so I didn't look nearly as stupid as I usually do on camera when I did that. But when I recorded that video, the one about the new episodes of Steven Universe the other day, that tick was there all over again. And the audio is still good, but I don't want to use the video, so I'll have to put something else over it. And I was thinking I could use this as a speed draw, like just a section of it. So I could put that over that so it doesn't look too weird. I just really don't like it when you can see my ticks. I am trying to get rid of them, but it's really hard because it's kind of something I was born with. But we all have our crux to bear. Okay, next question. What would Steven's persona be, and what would his Phantom Thief codename be? Oh god, we're going full Persona 5. Actually, I've been thinking about a lot about what the Crystal Gems personas would be. And I've actually been thinking that Rose and, well, now by consequence, Pink Diamond would probably have an Earth Goddess theme with her personas. So I think she'd start out with Thea, if you saw my videos, you know who Thea is. With Thea as her starting persona, and then it would evolve into Gaia, which is the Earth Mother. But I think with Steven being kind of his own thing, he'd instead have Tellus, which is another Earth deity which is based on Gaia, which is kind of different, but it has a more masculine wing to it, even though it's also a female deity. So I think that would kind of fit him very well. Because even if he doesn't like the fact, he still embodies a lot of the same values as his mother, even if he by now is a lot more mature as a person than she ever was. But in the end, he still inherited a lot of her personality, even if he's managed to develop it beyond the childish level that she managed to. So that's a success, I guess. And now there goes his fluffy hair. Floofy Steven hair. He has the floofiest of hairs. Oh, somebody retracted a message. I hope everything is okay. I hope I didn't say anything weird. So, oh yeah, codename if he was a Phantom Thief. Honestly, this is something I don't think about, but he would go for something ridiculously cute, because he's just... He's the kind who'd just go for Super Kitty or something like that. Well, he loves superheroes, but he also loves cute stuff, so... He'd go for the most ridiculous thing. What would he go for? Tiger Millionaire! Because he already did. He already did, so I think we can file this one away. It's not like he does... Tiger Millionaire, yeah. I think he would be like, this is genius, I don't need anything else. Ever. This is the best name I ever came up with. So, okay, next one. Can we talk about how Greg killed Pink Diamond all along? The D killed Pink Diamond. Actually, my friend Perch sent me a meme about this just a few minutes ago, so it's very fitting. He's... Yeah... I think I keep wondering how Greg would react to the news, actually. Like, if Steven told him, by the way, your pseudo-wife was actually, like, a diamond. An interstellar empress of all, dictator, empress dictator, whatever. I also wonder how Uncle Andy would react to it, like, if Greg were just like, hey dude, I think I accidentally married royalty, to our family. That would be amazing. It also, the implication to me that, the diamonds are now Stephen's aunts. That alone, like, not only does he have a human uncle, he now has 2 diamond aunts, and they both hate him and want him dead. That's not a healthy family relationship at all. But, well, it's not like he hasn't dealt with overly conservative relatives before, so maybe he can do it again. We'll see. I don't even know what this background music right now is. I just put on a... Oh, that's what it was. Okay, good. So, ironically, Stephen's name actually means crown. I didn't even realize that. Oh, no, that was intentional. My symbolism is always intentional. I do the best symbolism. Clearly. It's all lies. I don't actually do that. Whatever. Oh god, my favorite song in the background right now. Because... Hello, person from Denmark. Glad to see you. Next, so the next question was... After I saw the episode with a friend, we only thought it was the fact poor Jasper, everything she knew was a lie. Oh gosh. Yeah, I saw so many memes about that, like, the Star Wars references are real. You killed my diamond. No, Jasper, I am your diamond. It's not true. It's impossible. And then she hacks off Stephen's hand, I guess. Well, I guess that could happen. Let's hope it doesn't. Then again, with all the... Didn't we just have that song? Well, I don't mind it. It's a great song. Honestly, oh no, he looks happy. I mean, I usually like happy Stephen, but this one is not supposed to be happy. This is a very sad Stephen who doesn't like Fate very much because Fate is a bitch. Sorry, excuse my language. Maybe his arcana would be fortune because he has the suckiest fate of all time. That tends to be what the arcana is in Persona, at least. Where was I stuck? So... Yeah, oh yeah, we were at Jasper, so, I just hope she comes back, and then she's not going to take the news well, but... Look, I don't like her as a character, but Stephen is a pacifist. He's not going to just leave her in the bubble. Stephen is just... If anything, he's going to open an asylum that actually takes care of all the insane people. That's the kind of person he is. But he wouldn't just leave them. To what? So, is this working out so far? Looks good so far. So, next question. As someone who has a lot of hand ticks, I can tell you there's nothing to apologize for. Thank you, yeah. I know, it's incredibly annoying because... sometimes when I feel really confident and think, yeah, this is going to be a good recording, and then I look at it and I just keep doing the weird shit with my eyes and my face, I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess I can do this all over again because I guess it wasn't a good day today. I wish I could do something about it, but it's really, it's time, training, and the phases of the moon, and the position of the stars, and I don't know, and if it's my lucky lotto numbers today, or something like that. I don't even know. So... He could just go with Tiger Millionaire, actually. Yes, that's what I say. His Phantom Thief name would be donut-based. Aren't you thinking about, well, it's not Larsen Sadie anymore, like, aren't you thinking about former Mayor Dewey, also known as New Donut Guy? Actually, Well, Stephen still likes donuts, but I think Stephen just really likes good, sweet things in general. He's a fan of everything that's good about the world, and sweets are good about the world as long as you try to be healthy, which I think he's trying to be because he also eats veggies sometimes on screen. I think he's a good kid. He has some baby fat, but he's really watching out for himself. If it wasn't for his mental health, he'd have everything under control, but you can't exactly control all the traumatic stuff that this show is putting him through. Oh, Jesus, this kid is going to need so much therapy once all of this is over. And then I was a war criminal. And then it turned out that my previous incarnation slash mother staged her own assassination. Cool, I guess. Everybody's been lying to me for years. I'm used to it. I have trust issues now. That's what I imagine it's going to be like. So, Super Cat, it's super duper yummy. That's cute. I approve of that. I wonder how the diamonds would react to this. I think, Yellow Diamond is probably going to be in a lot of denial because she's been trying so hard to suppress everything related to Pink from her memory, just trying to deal with the problem by not dealing with it, just pretending there is no problem and move on with her life. So having this suddenly back on her plate would just be like, no, it's over, go away, demon, don't haunt me any longer. She just tried to kill him before she can have any second thoughts. But I think Blue Diamond would be like, Hope! It's Hope! She's back! I'm going to see her again. And she might actually kidnap Stephen and try to train him into being Pink. Maybe she'd even put him in a dress and... like, she'd go full-on goldfish replacement with him. So... And an even eviler Diamond Grandmother. Oh yes, White Diamond. We don't even know about her yet. I see all these theories about her, that she's actually the entirety of Homeworld, that she's like the whole planet personified as a gem. That would be interesting if she was actually the entire planet and the final boss would be a planet. That harkens back to that one Persona video I made, doesn't it? Next one. Hi. Oh yeah. Well, hi again, Last Trainer Bell. So, greetings from Argentina. Nice to see you. Yes. I see him as more of a star arcana. Yeah, actually, technically, I would usually, like in the first few seasons, I would totally put Stephen in the star arcana because he is he's hope. He's the hope of everyone. Everybody puts their hopes on him, and he's very optimistic. He has a lot of blind faith. But the thing is, he's changed. His situation has changed. So I can't really put him in there anymore. Actually, I think as of late, the moon has been ruling his character arc a lot. There's been a lot of doubt, a lot of maddening thoughts. So in respect to that, I think the situation has changed so much that I couldn't use the same arcana anymore for the current situation. I mean, I know that the newer Persona games tend to ignore this, but especially in the earlier Persona games, you could see it that the arcana can also change if anything important changes. So, I'm giving him very long eyelashes because it's Stephen, and Stephen is very cute. And that's never going to change because he is perfect. I honestly, I like characters, male characters that have a very strong feminine side. I think that's really refreshing every time. So I like the way he was portrayed right from the start. Even if the art style took a long time to grow on me. That's why I still don't... I mean, this is my own art style here, but... I'm not a fan of the Steven Universe art style as much as I'm a fan of the designs. The designs are really great, but the art style is not my cup of tea. see. So now I need to check if this looks... This is okay. This is okay. Oh look, Marceline singing it in. If I can say one thing about Rebecca Sugar, it's her music is really great, but I think her lyrics could use work. But that's just my opinion. So, next question. Also, Connie is going to be dating Earth's prince. This is turning into Sailor Moon, isn't it? A reverse Sailor Moon. This is kind of becoming a reverse Sailor Moon. I mean, I'm not surprised by it at all, given all the magical girl inspiration in it. But I'm glad that the ship is true. It's the only true ship. Well, not the only true ship, Garnet, and... Oh god, yeah, that preview, oh, freaking... I feel for Safi. I'm so sorry, I totally lost track there. What I'm saying is... Well, she can be president and he can be prince, and they rule together in a monarchic democracy, I guess? She's president, he's king, and he doesn't actually rule. Something like that. Sovereign state Earth. He does the diplomacy and Connie does everything else. That seems about right. So, next one. DM. I don't know what a DM is, but thank you. Sacrifice a virgin to stop your facial tics. This is the only virgin available, and I'm not going to sacrifice him. He deserves better. The only other virgin available would be Pearl. And, no, she doesn't deserve that. She actually deserves to finally get rid of her virgin status. She's been waiting for 5,000 years. Somebody cut her a break already. I think she's gone through enough. Everybody else I cannot confirm or deny that any of the others are virgins. And... I don't even know how I got to this dark place. I'm not going to sacrifice any virgins. None. So White Diamond is actually Nyx. That is a crossover I would like to write. I mean, it kind of is what I ended up thinking about while I was talking about it earlier, but it's kind of is like that. If the theory that I'm thinking of is true, at least. I mean, but at this point, who even knows anymore? Everything is possible. This pupil should be down a little lower. I should probably make the eyes very... Well, the pupil shouldn't be very visible. What is Stephen's eye color? I don't remember. I think he has black eyes, so I can do this. Be bad, now I know that it's true. 'Cause you are so good, and I'm nothing like you. Actually, let's do this later on. That's not how this works. I should just put a tiny pupil. No, not like this. Like this. It's going to look... Now he looks really disturbed, but okay. So, what other arcanas would you assign to the other characters? I would make Connie Strength. Strength seems very fitting for Connie. Let me think of all the other characters. Actually, the thing is, if you look at Pearl, she's very similar to Aegis in a lot of ways, so I feel tempted to make her Chariot. Mostly because she is also the kind of the type of person who just forces herself into it to use her outward strengths to mask her internal weaknesses. That's the sort of thing she does. Like, and she does it in a very different way from Amethyst, for example. Oh my! I knew I'm... Oh god, I know this is a comment later down the line, but what if you give him diamond eyes? Oh my God, you know that I have to do it now, and it's really creepy, and I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy. I'm doing this because of you. This is like body horror. I don't want this, but I love body horror, so I hope you're very happy that you gave me such a terrible idea that is going to be part of my artwork for all time now. I have some really weird likings, in case you couldn't tell yet. So, oh yeah, what are the other characters arcanas, in my opinion? Let me think. Garnet is definitely the lovers, but individually, Ruby and Sapphire, I'd actually say Magician and Priestess. Mostly because, yeah, Ruby is Magician incarnate. She's very energy, pure energy. Everything about her is forceful and about manipulating the force within herself and the force around her. She literally manipulates the elements, while with Sapphire everything is inward. It's a lot of passivity and waiting and passive sharing wisdom. So they are Priestess and Magician in my opinion, which fits because those two are sort of twin arcana. So it would be like Priestess and Magician separate, and as together as Garnet the lovers. Because it's all about their choices too, their choice to be together and their passionate love. It fits with the lovers arcana. Then pretty clearly with Rose / Pink Diamond, I've known this ever since before it was known that she was going to be, that she was Pink Diamond, but I always knew it's Empress for her because she is a mother archetype, and mother archetypes are pretty much exactly what that arcana is about. So, she's Empress. Yellow Diamond, I'd say, is the Emperor, because she's the ruling archetype. She's everything that Pink was against, basically. So it's like this balance. And Blue Diamond is the outlier, because she's pretty clearly the Moon, in my opinion, with all her doubts and emotionality and the magic surrounding her. But then again, Lapis is also the Moon, and for a lot of the same reasons. Oh god, you guys are going fast. I'll have to scroll back a little. Let me go. Amethyst. I'd kind of also go for the no, not the Chariot. It's it's getting difficult because unlike with Persona, it's not like they wrote it with this in mind. So you easily can get duplicate arcana if you just think about what is most fitting. You'll have to go with what isn't used yet and is still fitting. So, what could Amethyst also? Well, I know that I had an idea for that once, but it's kind of gone now, and it really bugs me. I already used Empress, Emperor, Priestess, Magician. What didn't I use yet? But I'd say she's also Strength, actually. But in a different way. Well, it's Strength later on. In the beginning, it's more Chariot. So I think she goes from Chariot to Strength. That's what I think, at least. And those are the most important ones. Peridot I always thought Tower, because a lot about her arc is about her ego, and about how her ego is her biggest weakness, but how she also needs to learn to have pride in herself. And it's all about the Tower is all about ego leading to the fall of your personal values, of your personal safety and happiness. And as I said, Lapis is Moon. So, okay, let's move on before you guys run away from everything. Persona Clubbook confirms everything. Yes, the Persona 3 Clubbook is the Bible. Actually, maybe I should use the line tool for this. Persona 3 Clubbook confirms everything ever. Metal Apprentice asks, have you ever tried Star vs. the Forces of Evil? It has a similar vibe to Steven, but with a bit more comedy. I've watched a few episodes, it looked pretty cool, but I didn't get far with it so far. Mostly because I have a watch list that goes all the way back to Timbuktu, and I really need to go through it one of these days, but I keep rewatching old shows because I'm kind of a nostalgia nerd, and so my siblings also want me to finally play through the Danganronpa games. I also have a lot of other video games that I still need to play. So things are kind of busy at my place, especially given that I'm working and I'm also making videos. So it will happen when it happens, but right now it's on my to-watch list, which is a pretty long list, and that's even just the anime to-watch list is pretty long. I think I have 130 shows on my anime to watch list, and that's not including cartoons. Alexis Bosk asks, well, if Pink Diamond is proficient on healing magic, then maybe White Diamond is a death magic user. Oh no, please don't make everything worse. I don't want just suddenly last season everyone drops dead as flies. Steven was the sole survivor. Don't let my mind go dark places like that. It makes me very, very scared of everything ever, because I know that the show wouldn't do that because it has a very positive message overall, but the possibility being there would create a lot of sad fanworks that I would look at, because I'm a glutton for torture, and I don't want to hurt myself, which I keep doing when I look at sad fan art. So, next one. So, I think Rebecca makes the lyrics corny on purpose, but maybe that's just me. She probably does. Well, we talk about corny lyrics and we get the opening song. Well, yeah, she kind of does, because it fits with the vibe of the show, but on the other hand, I'm the kind of person who likes really overly, intricate lyrics that have 500 different meanings, so, and sort of flow very well and all this stuff. When it comes to lyrics, I'm very picky, so that's just me. But I really like the music, I really like how it sounds, even if I don't appreciate the lyrics as much as other people can. Okay, harkening back to my Sailor Moon comment earlier. Well, it's called the Crystal Millennium. Oh god. I'm sure this AU exists somewhere already, like everybody in sailor suits, and everybody in sailor suits. I mean, it doesn't even have to be an AU, because I think Hilary Florida draws everyone in sailor suits in her promos anyway, so it's as close to canon as you can get, man. I guess, sort of. I'm rambling a lot of weird stuff today. So, next question. Oh god, Neni, what did I walk in on? You walked in on a Steven Universe explosion. I did not expect so many people to ask Steven Universe questions. I thought nobody would be interested, because when I actually did Steven Universe videos, nobody ever watched them, nobody ever commented on them, so I thought nobody was interested. I guess I was wrong. Well, maybe it's going to be different this time, but I really love Persona, but I also want to branch out. I don't want my channel to be pure Persona. As cool as that might sound for some people, it's also limiting, because after a while, you want to talk about another series too, you know? Because there's so much cool stuff, so many cool cross-references you can do between different properties, as you can tell from the fact that I've also done videos on Kingdom Hearts, which have been semi-popular, which I'm really glad for. So, I really hope that I'll be able to branch out a little bit more, and I hope I'm not rambling in circles here. This is coming along fine enough. I'm not being as fast as I would like to be, but then again, this is a very intricate piece, and I'm talking while I'm doing this. So Steve now has a human zoo for himself, just saying. Well, it's very awkward because it's not like he can just release those humans now. They've formed a culture around the babysitting provided by the robot voice of his mother. So it's like they're kind of stuck like this. The best thing he can do for them is probably declare them a sovereign nation and try to teach them how to live without the voice, but let them live in the zoo, but give them the option to leave whenever they feel like it, and basically declare the zoo a sovereign state under the protection of awesome amethysts, and the amethysts get to live there too. That's probably the best thing he could do at this point with that zoo. Just make it less of a wildlife preserve and more of like a native population preserve. Because at this point they are pretty much natives. It's been 5,000 years. I think that's long enough to qualify as natives. Hey, are you person? Hey, are you too person? Nice to see you if you're still there. What if you give him diamond eyes? I already did that. Also draw crazy diamond in the behind Steven. I think she's crazy enough as is. I mean, with all the stuff she's done, it's not like she's especially sane. Rose pink is Empress, I guess. Yeah, that's what I said. Empress. A Peridot would be Hermit. I'm not sure about... Well, Hermit is an option. But I always thought about with her, it was like not about introspection as much as it was about her just having a big ego, but no real self-esteem. That's why I went for the Tower. As you can see, I'm very bad at drawing straight lines. You know what? Let's cheat here. I'm a cheater. I have no regrets. So, would Lapis not be Hermit? Well, Lapis could be Hermit, but I think the moon fits... Well, Lapis actually also fits with Hermit, so we could go with Hermit for her. Then the moon would be all to blue diamond. Alexis Bosks, I don't know what that was referring to because I kind of lost... I kind of lost the... Well, that's because I'm not coming along. Well, let's ask her someone. Pale Rose episode, oh my fucking god. Yeah, you and all of us. You and all of us. Everything is both a lie and true in SU, so long as the writers fight over characters like they did with Lapis. Oh god. That disaster. That disaster, oh god. I technically have so much to talk about the whole Lauren Sooks thing, but it would be probably better because I have a lot of very strong opinions on what happened there. And honestly, I don't want to spoil anyone's opinion because I think my opinion is not entirely based on facts. It's very much informed emotion, and I don't really want to put my opinion on anybody else, even just accidentally, so I don't think I should talk about that. I feel like it would be fitting for Stephen to be the star arcana. Yeah, that's what we talked about already, so let's move on. What about the Thoth deck? It's still the same arcana, so even if you use duplicates, it's technically still the same arcana. Tower of Amethyst, I don't think so, honestly. It's nothing about what she does is anything that she brought upon herself. With Tower, the important thing is that those things were brought upon by yourself, that, like by your own misconceptions, and with her it just feels like it was she was born in the wrong place and at the wrong time. And there's a bug here. I don't know why. I mean a literal bug, not a computer bug. I don't know what this bug is doing here. I need to let it out later. Can I draw a straight line? I need to learn how to do this. I'm using a pretty small tablet, so... Come on. Oh, what does this look like? Is this okay? Nailed it? No, not quite nailed it. It's more like scribbled it. Kind of put the hammer into it. Sardonic music in the background. Does this work? Close enough. Next one. Message retracted. I guess that happens when I accidentally answer questions before they happen. I think Lapis is tower. Well, yeah, Lapis could work for tower as well. Who would be the world? Nobody would be the world, because the world is technically where everybody is supposed to end up at the end of their character development. Or the Fool. Well, that's the thing. The Fool is the starting point for everyone, and the world is the starting point for everyone. Star really takes time to hit its pace. Worth sticking with it though. Yeah, that's true. So. Yeah, Stu played Danganronpa. Yeah, you and my siblings. I mean, I appreciate what the games did, but so far I haven't been able to get into it. Wait, the P3, not art book, club book, was a retcon of Piece 1 and P2 info, since Persona tends to change info of the two games. Well, it was mostly because the lead writer for the Persona 1 and the Persona 2 duology left after Persona 2 was finished, so they didn't really have his vision to work with anymore, so Yatsuda Hashino did his own thing. And that's what resulted in all the stuff that we see in the Persona 3 club book. But it's not really that they were trying to retcon stuff. It's just they did a fresh take on the franchise, because they couldn't. It's good that they didn't just try to emulate the style of Satomi Tadashi, because usually when people try to emulate a previous writer, it ends up in disaster. Trust me, I've seen it happen. So them going with a fresh take is probably for a better thing. Better idea. Steven Universe Infinity War. White Diamond is Thanos confirmed. I haven't seen Infinity War yet, honestly. I don't go to the cinema a lot, so I usually tend to only see these movies when they come out on DVD or when they end up on Netflix. So yeah, those references don't do me any good. I don't go to the cinema that much. I'm really sorry. I know I'm a peasant for it. I love the cinema, but I usually don't have the time or the money, or the money time. Money is time, time is money. So, next one. Ever tried the Devilman franchise? Oh my god, my list is already so full. I can't add anything more. I'm really sorry. I heard good things about it, but right now I really can't put any more stuff onto my to-watch list. I'm really sorry. I'm already fighting to get through the one I already have, so bear with me, you guys. What tarot book have you read for your videos? I'd love to know. My primary source is, actually I listed in the sources for my latest video. It's Jung and Tarot, an Archetypal Journey by Sally Nichols. It's pretty old, but it gives some really good information. I also use some secondary sources like websites and smaller books, but really the bulk of my information comes from the Sally Nichols book, and this is not a straight line. This is nothing even resembling a straight line. And there's the bug again. How do you lines? That's why I prefer working in pencils, because I don't know, the pencils, you don't need to draw a straight line, it just happens. White Diamond was actually Kyubey all along, and Magical Girls are prototype human gem fusions. That would be a crossover. That should be a crossover, yes. I don't actually know what that crossover would imply. Like, would it mean that all Magical Girls are actually artificially created gems? would that mean that all the magical girls are actually the same as gems? That would explain a lot, but it would also mean that all the witches are actually corrupted gems, and that would mean that whenever Stephen finds a cure, which I hope he does, that means we could technically apply that to everyone in the Madoka Magica universe, and then everything Madoka did would be for naught, because, oh, I guess there is a cure. Didn't need to sacrifice myself after all. Well, lol. But yeah, that's why it's an AU and not the truth. So, white diamond is white diamond confirmed. I sure hope so. Honestly, I also, another theory about her that I like is that she actually doesn't exist, but that she's the fusion of the other 3 diamonds. But that wouldn't explain why her insignia is still there even after Pink Diamond is supposedly dead. So I guess that's not what it is. I can't draw straight lines! How do you straight lines? And you know what annoys me the most? Usually when I draw something that's this intricate, and that's this beautiful, well, in my opinion, beautiful, I end up getting like 3 notes on it. So sometimes I'm like, well, I guess the only person I'm drawing this for is myself. But it's nice to have you guys watch. That makes it seem like I'm actually sharing it with more than just myself. So that resembles a straight line somewhat. So next question. What of the videos you did is your favorite? The favorite video that I've done so far. Let me think about it. It's probably, a lot of people haven't even watched that one, but I think my favorite video I've done so far is the beginning of the first part of a Kingdom Hearts video that I did, where it's supposed to be 3 parts, but I've only put up 1 part so far, but I really love what I've done in that 1 part, because basically I'm going into the symbolism, the Christian symbolism that the Kingdom Hearts series uses, and that video didn't get as much traction as I'd hoped it'd get, but I really like what I've done there, and I really want to continue this one. I'll do the remaining 2 parts too, because I think I really touched on something that a lot of people don't really think about, and there's so much to talk about. Hopefully I'll get the other 2 parts out before Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. Then again, a lot of people would say that's very likely, but personally, when the game is done, it's done. That's when it comes out. I don't want them to rush it. I've never been one I love Kingdom Hearts, but I've never been one to clamor for them to get it out as ASAP, because I just don't think that's good for any game, this kind of mindset. I want them to finish it when it's finished. I want them to take their time and make it work. But yeah, I think that Kingdom Hearts video about the Abrahamic symbolism in Kingdom Hearts is probably my favorite video. When we're talking... But generally, I do like a lot of my newer videos, especially because I think I've started to develop a voice that I like. I've started to develop a style that I can deal with. So... I also like the Magatama video I did, because I actually managed to keep myself short there. And yeah, from the Persona videos, definitely the Nyx one, because... No, actually not the Nyx one. Well, the Nyx one is the one I managed to keep myself short best, but I also really liked the one I did about Philemon and Nalatotep and my theory about what happened to them in the modern games. But that's... Generally, there's a lot of things I like and a lot of things I dislike about my videos, so it's really neither here nor there. So... And by branching out, you mean getting into mainline SMT, right? Please. I do have SMT3 Nocturne right here on my shelf. I need to play it. I've been meaning to play it, but I just haven't gotten around to yet. So I'll get to it eventually. It's on my shelf, so it's going to happen. Definitely. It is going to happen. At very least, I'm going to play Nocturne. I don't know about any of the other games, but Nocturne is definitely very high up on my list. So, Alexis Bosk, I'm very deep into Steven Universe. I really love this show too. I love it a lot. I know it's been kind of trendy to hate on it as of late. Well, not maybe those past few days. But I never saw what people meant when they claimed the show has jumped the shark or something like this. I really still feel so much love behind it. It's still, in my opinion, one of the best shows on the air right now. I enjoy watching it so much, and I'm so happy whenever there's a new episode out. I mean, always immediately check it out. I've been also trying to buy buy merchandise however possible, because it's not like there's a lot of it available over here in Austria. So yeah, I'm a cheater and I'm not ashamed. Yeah, that's what I said earlier. I mean, how else am I going to do line work? I can't line work. That's why I love pencils, because as you can see, with pencils I can just do whatever the hell I want and it looks like I imagine it to look. But with lines I have to trust my hand to do what I want it to do, and my hand usually does not do what I want it to do because it's my hand. And where would we be if my hand actually listened to my brain for once? Where would that lead? Wow, I might actually be able to do everything that I'm planning to do. Wouldn't that be something? That would be so weird. It'd be like the end of the world. So. Kazuna. It's okay, Neni. I too have trouble doing things straight. That's not the kind of straight I was talking about, but I'll take your word for it. And honestly, I'd say it's not trouble. I mean, I hope you enjoy not doing things straight. I mean, your life is supposed to be good. Everyone's life is supposed to be good. Take this from me, you guys. I hope all your lives are good. You're all supposed to be happy with how your lives are going, no matter who you are, how you are, what you are. I want all of you to be happy. Before the episode came out, I wanted to make Pink Diamond Infinity War memes. Now I can't. And I don't even know why, because I haven't seen the movie yet. Calm Kelly, Kazuna's same. There's a lot of you guys in here. I hope you're all having fun. All the memes about Rose killing Pink Diamond aren't funny anymore, yeah, because now they are all about, well, not necessarily suicide, but like it's a staged assassination. But I really like the fact that I like how deep the show is getting into politics. Like, what other kids show do you have that's about staged assassinations and the political struggles involved in them? That it's like, whoa, this show is trying to be like the children's version of Game of Thrones. It's kind of amazing. Game of Gems. Except nobody so far has permanently died. Well, mostly because Stephen has a way to make people undie. That didn't sound right. Undying, sort of like that. He can make zombies, is what I'm saying. 28 Stephens later. That's Rose singing in the background, and now we know all the truth, and like, I wonder how sexy Greg would have found her if he'd known that she was actually even taller than she was when he knew her. Because we know he's into tall women, and like, you know I can be even taller. That would have been like major turn on. Oh yeah, because I said Lapis was the moon. The moon sucks, Lapis lazuli. Well, that's kind of the point of the moon arcana in some ways, though, that sucks, because I'm trying to make sense of this. Don't question my logic. This seems okay so far. Yeah, yes, wait, let me... that's close enough. I'll be saying this a lot tonight. P1 and P2 are much more like Megaton games than Persona games. That's because Satomi Tadashi was still sticking closer to the blueprint given to to it to the games by the Megaton Games at the time. Rick Demon Skull, this isn't the question, but I wanted to let you know that your art style is really nice. Oh, thank you. I often feel like my art style isn't that good, honestly, especially when compared to my sister and my brother, who both also draw. I feel like they have a way of making things look a lot more smooth, a lot more lively. Oftentimes when I draw, I feel like I kind of make it look dead. I don't know why. I'm trying to give life to my drawings, but I feel like maybe some of you guys watched Pokemon when you were kids. I'm sure some of you watched it. I mean, we're all nerds here. And there was this one episode about an artist who was trying to capture an onyx made of glass because he thought it would help him make his art actually look like it was alive, because he couldn't figure out how to do it. And that's kind of like how I feel. Everything I draw tends to look a lot more dead than I want it to, and I can't figure out how to give it that spark of life. So I'm still working on that, but maybe one day I'll figure it out. And I know I'm doing the poof sleeves way different from how they look in her actual artwork, but this is how I'm used to doing poof sleeves, because yeah, I used to draw Princess Peach a lot, so that's where I got these poof sleeves from. It fits, she's pink too. For no one else can... I used to draw a lot of Princess Peaches when I was small and precious and very bratty. By small I mean like 15 years old, and actually 15 years old, not just looking like I'm 15 years old, which is right now. That's where I relate to Steven. My body also stopped aging in my teens. Except his stopped aging when he was 8, mine stopped aging when I was 15, and I'm going to look like this for the rest of my life. At least until I turn into an old, tiny granny. An old, tiny, minuscule granny who's really, really into anime and video games. Is this working? I remember that the poof sleeves were kind of weird. I'm going to start reading questions again real quick. Yeah. Oh! Hey, Neni, I was thinking back on how Persona 4 helped you understand the Kingdom Hearts universe, and I was thinking, would it be strange to have a Persona become a Keyblade and vice versa? I don't think that would be strange at all, because the principle behind both the keychains and Personas is very similar. They're both manifestations of something of mental power. The keychains often are received from other people, so they represent what that person represents to you. And Personas, especially for the wild cards, tend to work very similarly for the wild cards, because the Personas that they receive from the social links are based on how they interacted with other people. So it's a very similar principle. And just a moment, somebody wants me to go to the door. I'll be right back. Yeah, that's the thing when you sit right in front of the window that is right by the gate of the house. Whenever somebody enters the house, they want you to be the one to open the door, because they are too lazy to get out their keys. And that's what sometimes makes it really awkward to stream. I need to get a separate room for this, for all these video things, but right now this is the only room I have to work with. But eventually I'll get more space, then I'll be able to figure this out. Right now it's just a little awkward, but I hope you guys don't mind. I'm still an amateur at this. I'm ready to admit this. I'm nowhere near professional. So, where was I stuck? Oh yeah, as I was saying, I've actually done some... Okay, this is not how the line works. This line goes here. Oh hey, it's Jasper's theme in the background. I've actually done some Keyblade designs in my spare time based on personas, but they weren't very good, so I kind of threw them away. But yeah, I think it would make sense. It's a very similar concept in some ways. Even if people overlook how the psychological themes in Kingdom Hearts, because they are kind of not subtle, but they are more magical than other games that use similar themes. In Kingdom Hearts it's more like science fantasy in a lot of way. That's not the right word. I hope you get across what I'm meaning. It's like it focuses so much on the fantastical parts of it that the realistic parts kind of fall by the wayside. So you continued. I didn't realize that was all the same question. I was thinking that a Keyblade that is summoned by light would represent the tamed and conscious side of the user, same as with the persona, and that the Keyblade summoned by darkness would be somewhat untamed side of said person's psyche. Kind of a dumb question to ask. There's no dumb questions. There's only good questions. There's no such thing as a dumb question. There's just weird questions. But even weird questions can be made into something useful. Oh God. So yeah, basically, I'm already mentally at the next question. But what I'm saying is, yes, this is totally possible. But I think Keyblades are more representative of the association somebody has with the motive of a keychain or where they got the keychain from than with their own personality necessarily, unless it's the original keychain, in which case it's definitely based on one's own personality, like with the original keychains used by the Burst by Sleep trio. Getting it out. Okay. Next question. Imitating the previous writer of Ace Attorney. Actually, that's exactly what I was talking about. Like a few minutes ago, I was talking about how the writer of one franchise should not, when another new writer takes over a franchise, they should not be trying to imitate the previous writer. And actually, yes, this is the exact example I've been thinking of. With Ace Attorney, it was such a travesty because it's so obvious that this team, like, Yamamoto's team, they are not bad writers. They are not bad writers. They're good writers. The thing is, you can tell they want to write Metal Gear and not Ace Attorney. With all the political espionage and all the science fantasy stuff that they're using, and not enough grounded character drama that actually is based on the characters rather than on political situations. You can tell what they really want to do is something Metal Gear-esque. And honestly, at this point, I'd give them Metal Gear. I'd send them to Konami and be like, please, save this franchise. Anyone would do better than what the hell these guys are doing right now. The only good thing Konami is doing right now is Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. There, I said it. So, yeah. Just pirate Infinity War on the internet. My friend, that's illegal. And totally something I do. But I try to pay for things when I like them. I try to be a good, upstanding citizen mostly when I can be, when I'm given the option to. When I'm given the option to pay for something, I pay for it. Mostly. But with old anime that's not available nowhere else, then yeah, I tend to pirate that. I have to admit that. Also old cartoons for the same reason. I'm not the kind of person who'll accept not being able to see something anymore. The struggles of a creator. Oh yeah, you're telling me. Rick Demon Skull. If you want smoother lines, try turning the stabilizer on. I have to set mine to max because my hands shake so much. I actually think I have the stabilizer on. Don't I? Do I have the stabilizer? Where is the stabilizer? Where's the stabilizer? That's a good question. That might actually help. Oh well! It's my mistake. Oh. as long as I don't screw up this beautiful floofy hair that I managed to sketch out, I'm happy. But thanks for the tip. Thanks for the advice. Sayaka and Lapis, ultimate watery angst fest. Oh god. Well, at least Sayaka has a stable relationship now with a person who's not the greatest douche in the world. And yes, I do ship Kyoko and Sayaka. I think those two are good for each other. And I really, really, really hope that Kyosuke Kamicho stays wherever the hell he wants to. Like, I feel sorry for Hitomi. She didn't deserve this guy. Nobody deserves this guy. This guy's the worst. The worst. The absolute worst. Nobody should be together with this guy ever. Like the one guy in Madoka Magica, and he should just marry his violin, because that's obviously all he cares for. There's this one alternate route in the video game where you can get to play several of the timelines that Homura went through in Madoka Magica. And there's one timeline where Kamijo actually wants to get together with Sayaka, but then he sees her body in a very sorry state because it was separated from her soul gem for quite a while. And she doesn't realize it, but she's actually not done healing yet, so her body looks extremely ugly. And he sees her, and he calls her a monster, and that gives her the killing blow, so... Thanks, Kamicho. I know he's just a normal guy, but sorry, but he's so oblivious. How can you be so oblivious? And he just goes, like, after Sayaka is confirmed dead in the original timeline, he still performs. He's not even to turn up to say, no, today I can't perform. You can tell that he wants to be married to his violin, so why doesn't he just marry his violin? Gideon West, hello! Hello, Gideon. It's very... I know it's kind of late now, but I have kind of a delay here with reading these, so I hope it's okay. I agree that was one of your best videos. I think you're probably talking about the Kingdom Hearts one that I listed earlier, so thanks! I'm glad some other people agree with me. I want to see other parts of those videos. I really love the Kingdom Hearts ones. Yeah, I need to do the second and third part of it. Actually, I didn't even scratch the surface yet with the first part, because I only went into the superficial stuff there. But the symbolism goes so much deeper. I actually just discussed like some Bible stuff with my boyfriend Wendy. Wendy is a believing Christian, but like he's a moderate Christian, so he's not. I know that a lot of Americans have a very bad impression of Christians because the Christians you guys have are really insane. I did not grow up with that sort of Christians over here. I grew up in a congregation that was extremely, extremely open and very loving and critical. Like the lectures that we got were mostly about thinking for ourselves and making our own, getting our own takes on the scriptures. So we had a completely different take on that, and I'm glad we did. But with what I've heard, with the horror stories I've heard about American Christians, I get why so many Americans hate Christians, because, yeah. When you grow up with them being like this, that's no surprise. I just wish that didn't happen, because it gives everyone else a bad name. But I'm saying, but I shouldn't get into religion here, especially because I myself am an agnostic theist for reasons that I could get into, but probably won't right now. But anyway, I did read the Bible in the past, and I did discuss this with Wendy to make sure that I got everything right. And there's so much symbolism there in Kingdom Hearts that I haven't even touched on yet, and I need to do the other two parts of this. I'll get to this soon. So, next question. Oh! The next question is actually about this. Oh, okay, then I'll answer it. Colm Kelly asks, are you Christian or any interest in religion? Just guessing by a few of your video topics. I grew up Catholic Christian, but like Middle European Catholic Christian, not the kind of Catholic Christian you hear about in the news about doing terrible things. Like, we, here in Austria, we have some very moderate Christian communities who are more about the whole agape and love your neighbor thing than anything else. And with some very moderate, very progressive priests doing the, what are they called, sermons? In English it's called sermons, yeah. And so that's the kind of Christianity I grew up with, which is why I was very shocked when I learned that in other countries, what a shitfest Christianity is in other countries. It really made me sad. But myself, I don't consider myself Christian anymore, and the reason for that is actually not because I had any bad experiences with Christianity, but because I followed it to its logical conclusion, in my opinion. Basically, what happened with me is when I was in middle school, I realized, wait, pride is a sin, and the reason why pride is a sin is because it means we underestimate how much there is that we don't know. We overestimate how much we can really achieve. We think of ourselves as much as we are because we're just humans, and we shouldn't think of ourselves as anything beyond human. But isn't claiming that we know the truth about the personified force of the universe, isn't that a form of pride? So I decided, out of that which I had learned from the Christian congregation I was in, I decided I can't just accept that everything that is written in the scriptures is exactly as it is written there, because that would be a form of pride, and that would be a contradiction within itself. So instead, I decided I am just going to be a good person. I am not going to claim I know what the personified force of the universe is like. I do believe that there is a higher force, especially something that's higher than humans, but I don't know what its true form is. I don't know what kind of sentience it has. I am just going to be a good person, and in the end, when it's all over, I'm going to see where that gets me. But I'm not going to be as prideful as to claim I know better than everyone else, because I don't. I am just yet another human with yet another take on how things should work. And that's how that's how it is for me. I know that's not how it is for other people, but that's my take on it. And as you can tell from how I'm talking, to me, what is called God in religions is basically just a personification of the physical laws of the universe. That's what I think is God. But this got very serious here. I hope nobody minds that. This is what I talk about when I'm talking religion. And that's why I'm extremely interested in religion too. Because I see every religion as a manifestation of people trying to understand the physical laws behind the universe. Trying to personify it. Trying to give it a shape that they can comprehend. This is something I actually took a little bit from Jung's writings, because a lot of what he wrote alludes to this. So that's why I don't see, and well, yeah, I do see a lot of religious teachings as wrong, but I don't see any religion as right or wrong. I don't like it when people say religion is irrational, because it's not. It's just another way of trying to understand the physical laws of the universe. It's just some people take it a bit too far, and by a bit I mean a lot. Okay, sorry for this weird tangent. Let's go on now. Actually, I'm going to look ahead a little bit what this cost just now. Actually, let me just check if I lost all my viewers after this. Well, there's still 8 people watching. I don't know how many watched before, so the peak was 10, so I guess most of you are still here. Thank you for not leaving after all of this. That makes me very happy. I'm always kind of nervous when I talk about religion, because I know some people really hate it. So, okay, let's go back to where I was. Shogaton, do you think it means something that the shadows of the evil palace owners seem to not be something the folks themselves seem very bothered by? Actually, it means, yeah, it does mean something. Basically, what's the deal with these people is that they're being controlled by their shadows. That's the whole reason why the palaces, The palace is mostly formed because their perception was so skewed, and the reason their perception was skewed in the first place was because their shadow had so much power over their mental life. So they were under the control of their shadows, and because of this, their shadows had leaked into their conscious lives, into their egos, and as a result of that, their difference had become kind of blurry, and that's part of the reason why they were as insane as they were. So Futaba is the exception, because with her the distortion in her perception was based more on her self-doubts than on that. So yeah, that's what the difference is, and I hope I'm making sense. But yeah, it does mean this. They were taken over by the shadow, much like how Adachi was taken over by his shadow. I changed my setup. I need to fix it again. Adachi was taken over by his shadow before his boss battle as well, in a very similar way. So, I guess that's something that tends to happen with villains in Persona. They just go cuckoo and then it's their shadow talking. Because that's honestly what it is a lot like in real life too. When we go extremely cuckoo, it's really our shadow talking. When you say things that you usually wouldn't say because you realize, oh, fuck, I'm being a total asshole right now, that's your shadow talking. If you're able. I really like playing this playlist. That was a good idea. So, what? Is this? Oh yeah, that's part of the eye, so I shouldn't erase it. I hate it when I lose the overview. So, yeah. So, next one. I do have a lot of fun with it. That's good. Everybody should have fun with who they are and what they like. So, the Ace Attorney series really needs to move on from Phoenix. Yes, it does. Phoenix should be a mentor at this point. He should not be a playable character anymore. He's been a playable character for too long. He's overstayed his welcome. Just move on from it. But instead of, they had all the chances to do it. They even made other characters popular enough to make it work. What do they do? They literally sent Apollo to Timbuktu. In what dimension did that seem like a sensible writing decision? I think that was the point where I was like, no, I'm done. I need another 5 months until I touch it again. And that's why you haven't seen an update on Complete Turnabout, because that ending basically just put me in a state of, no, I'm done. I still love the series, but I'm done. And you can blame a Spirit of Justice ending for that. So if you want to blame anyone for not getting another update on that fanfic in case you're reading it, that's what you should blame. Not me, because yes, you should blame me. It's my fault in the end. But still. Kazune, Steven will win the game and sit on the Iron Throne. Oh, that was about my Game of Gems reference. Oh god. He'll hate it though, because he'll be alone and he'll hate it. Because he doesn't like violence. He's a pacifist. I mean, he doesn't even use a sword. He's a, like, I'd say his mother was like a fake pacifist who pretended to be a pacifist but still punched people in the face, and Steven is a true pacifist who leaves all the punching to his girlfriend because she's good at that. Connie is good at everything, but she's also very good at punching people. Well, it's not really punching as much as slicing them to pieces with a sword, but it's the thought that counts. Come on, you can do this. You can become pretty. You can become a pretty diamond. Game of Gems, the Game of Thrones for kids with more feelings and lesbian gems. That seems about right. Connie Mays will win as best girl, yes or no? Yes. Mostly because she's the only actual girl, because the gems are technically one sex race that just happens to look very feminine. I mean, if you count the gems, there'd be a lot of competition. But Connie is a great character. I really like her. I wish she got my episode. She is pretty much Steven's other half at this point. she's honestly, I find Stevonnie is more of an inheritance to the true power of Pink Diamond than Stephen is. It's like Stevonnie is actually the manifestation of the true force behind it all. I guess adding Connie's power to it, Connie's mental and physical strength, really brings out the best of the Diamond powers. So let's do this. So can we do this? Oh look, this was before Stephen learned how to sing. Yeah, in the early episodes his singing is really kind of... I know he's good at making music, but when it comes to singing, the early episodes were kind of hard to get to. His voice actor is amazing too. I really think it's some of the best voice work I've heard anywhere, including anime. And original Japanese dubs tend to have some really damn good voice work, unless you are certain that, like, oh god, the original Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh anime dub, that one is, oh god, so much bad voice acting, I could talk about it all day. But that's not what you guys are asking me about, right? So let's continue. Have you been watching new DuckTales episodes? I'm so behind with it. I've watched a little bit and then I kind of fell behind. I heard that it was kind of middle of the road, but I can't judge because I've been meaning to catch up, but yeah, you know how that is with me. I have a list and the list is long and it keeps getting longer. I really want to keep watching it though. Shogaton, it sounds like I should start watching Steven Universe from what people say. Steven Universe is a really good show. It's also a very slow-moving show, but the good thing is the individual episodes are very short. So it's really something you can easily watch by the side while doing something else. And while you might miss some details doing that, you'll still get the bigger picture. And the thing is with Steven Universe, it's very hard to skip episodes because there's... Even the episodes that are technically filler tend to have very important information that comes back later on. And the first half season is like basically nothing but slice of life. So it's very... personally, how I got through the episodes in the beginning is like I had them on in the background while doing something else. And that's honestly the best way to do it in my opinion. But if that's not how you want to do it, if you really want to dedicate to it, then take a whole weekend to marathon through it, because I don't really see how else it's doable. At this point, the show has gotten really long, and as I said, it's very slow-paced, and yeah, there's not really many episodes you can outright skip without missing out on important foreshadowing or background information that will confuse you later on when actual important stuff happens. You really can't skip anything in this show. It's kind of amazing how they just decided to, yes, every single episode needs to have an important plot point in there. We're not making any exceptions. It's kind of, whoa. But continuity is really good in the show. I like it. It doesn't really have a status quo. Everything is constantly in flux, and I like it because every consequence is really explored well. I love the Crystal Onyx episode. I don't know what exactly you're talking about here. Unless, is this Steven Universe or whatever? I don't know. Because I'm so slow, I lose track of what you're talking about. So, Alexis Bosk. Watch Steven Universe, it's really good. Even now more that we know who Rose really was. Oh yeah, all of the spoilers. It's going to be interesting rewatching the show now, knowing what this happened. Well, knowing that this happened, it's going to be very interesting. I should not be rewatching the show. There's so many other shows I should be watching, anime and otherwise. But yeah, it's tempting right now to just go back and explore all of this stuff with this in mind. It's tempting to go back and remember, yeah, this is actually Pink Diamond. And she did all this stuff and knew all this stuff, and she still did it, and she's just so childish and selfish, but she's still also lovable. She didn't know any better. She was a kid and she never grew up. She has Peter Pan syndrome, and a really, really bad case of it because she's a gem, and gems are not even supposed to grow up. So she tried to grow up, she failed. I'm sorry, her son did it better. Neni is coming, Santiago, confirm. Santiago? Who's Santiago? I don't know it. I'm sorry. Important information. Your stabilizer is up on the top bar all the way to the right. Oh, well, let's turn this up all the way up and see what it does. Maybe now things will go better. Oh, hey, I can draw lines now. Thank you, Delta. That is helpful. How did I never realize this before? But home is just a place I've never known. Huh! Hey, it's working! And I think I'm nailing the fluffy so far. Yes, she's getting her floofy hair. Stephen looks really, really creepy right now, but I'll fix this eventually. So, Steve McConney is the best chip ever made, and I'll fight anyone who says otherwise. I'm similar there because yeah, those two, I like their relationship a lot. They work together as a team, and that's how I see what a relationship should be like. You should be a team. You should be supporting each other, and it should be one's flaws balance out the others. That's how I see my own relationship, and that's how I think a good relationship should work. It should not be based on physical characteristics as much as just people working together well. And Ruby and Sapphire qualify too, but we don't see them as people as much as we see them as Garnet. We don't see them as much as separate people. What did I do wrong here? That was happened. I had a little hook in there. Well, now it's fixed. I'll make all the I should save. I should save this. Because I haven't been saving it so far, and that's actually very bad, because if this dies, it's gone. Because it doesn't autosave. I made some very bad decisions in my life, and this is one of them. Oh, I should probably save it as a sigh. I just overwrote the original. Well, I can rescan it anytime I want, so that's not the issue. People, this is how I lose half of my video progress, forgetting to save and then needing to redo it. This is part of the reason why you don't get videos as quickly as you should be, because I am a moron. Now you know the truth. So, So, how... Yeah, this is going well so far. I'm getting another floof here. Floof! I love this floofy hair. I love drawing floofy hair. I love nothing as much as drawing floofy hair. I think that's part of the reason why... She might have done some really selfish things, but she has floofy hair, so she gets a free pass. Not really, but that's pretty close to it. So, let's move next question, because I've been neglecting you all terribly, and I'm sorry for this. Kazuna says, I always thought that Hitomi was either a secret magical girl or a human-shaped witch, like the one from the spin-off manga. I don't know, but I just feel like something was up with that girl. I think she was supposed to be a diversion because we were supposed to think that this was a normal magical girl show, so obviously the other friend with the green hair was going to become a magical girl too, because what else? But she was nothing but a diversion. I think she's as normal as they come. She's as normal as they come. The only thing that's up with her is that she's got stuck with Captain Oblivious for a boyfriend, and I feel with her. She would have been better off as a magical girl, honestly, I'm saying it. Seriously, Kamicho, worst boyfriend ever. Nobody deserves a Kamicho in their life. Nobody. But Kazumi Magica was a great spin-off manga. I really don't regret reading it as much weird shit as there was in it. So, Mario Sonic 029. I'll give you a tip to help you out. I toned down the opacity and changed from black to a different color. I don't know how to change the color back if I do that, so I'll not do it. But I can tone the opacity down a little. Oh yeah, but that doesn't help if it's black. But I think I can do it this way. I thank you for the. I think it's a little late for it now, but I thank you for the advice. I'll try doing it next time. But really, thank you so much for trying to help me. Alonso Ramirez. How much did I lose by now? Alonso Ramirez, I just want to say that you're one of my favorite YouTubers. Oh, thank you so much. That's so nice. Thank you. Calm Kelly. Wow, that was really enlightening, Neni. I guess you're referring to my little expose about how I think about religion. Thank you about it. I was actually kind of nervous to talk about it. You could probably hear it in my voice. But I'm glad that there doesn't seem to be any negative reactions to it so far, so that's good. I'm always nervous about possibly getting backlash, but it's true. So, I'm glad I could say something enlightening in some way, something helpful, at least. Kasuna says, I came to a similar conclusion with my own Jewish fate. I now identify as an omnitheist with some ditheistic tendencies. Well, technically, I think the term for what I am is an agnostic theist. What did I do here? Oh, okay. I'm technically an agnostic theist, but honestly, I don't think I need a label really, because I've been having these beliefs ever since I was in middle school, and I didn't need a term for it back then. It's easy to use the term, but honestly, in the end, all I am is Neni. Neni who came to her own conclusions and is living with them. So that's what I am. Let's move on. Alonso Ramirez, what color do you think Persona 6 is gonna be based on? I think before we can talk about this, we need to even know where the series is going from now, because we don't even know who the new director is going to be now that Hashino is gone, and what kind of sensibilities that new director is going to work with. Personally, I think it's high time for a green Persona game, because that's one color we haven't had used yet. But depending on who the new director is, they might just reuse one of the previous colors, just like how Persona 5 we used red when we already had red used in the Persona 2 duology. So it's not like I can say anything. We might have another yellow game, we might have another blue game. But it would be nice to have a green game for once. I know green doesn't have as many fans, but I think it's a nice color. It's an underrated color. Green deserves better. Don't diss green. Peridot is green. She's a good kid, I think. His favorite gem still. Anyway, Kasuna also says my grass would be green. So yeah, it's you and me. Dupin9, thanks for your honest answer. You shouldn't worry about your drawings that much. All I'd be able to produce would be stick figures. The reason I'm so worried about my drawings is because I've been drawing for quite a while now. It's just a hobby, not something I've been pursuing that seriously, but I always feel like I should already be much further than I am. I guess I don't have that much natural talent, so all I really have is my experience. But I'm just happy if I manage to manifest what I'm thinking of in my head into something resembling the image that I had in my head. So I guess I'm getting closer to that every day, so that's something. But I'm also jealous of people like my brother Alex, who only recently started drawing and is already miles better than I've ever been. So that people like that, like it just look at it like, why? We share so much DNA. How is this possible? What did you do? What did you solve that I? Is it because I'm not eating right or something? I don't know. Nah, I shouldn't be jealous, but it's just kind of cool to see that everybody has different talents, I guess. But I still love drawing, even if I don't think that I'm the best at it. By far. So, Colin Kelly again. Do you watch your shows in German? I watch my shows in every language that I can understand. I try to, if possible, watch every dub that I can get my hands on that is in a language I understand. So when it's anime, I try to watch in Japanese first, then I try to see if there's an English dub and see if I like it. If I don't like it, I drop the dub. And I also try German dubs, especially like with newer dubs. I try to avoid the German dubs because they tend to be really bad. One notable exception was when they dubbed Madoka Magica, and for some reason I don't know how they managed to do it, but it was such a high quality dub. The German dub of Madoka Magica is better than the English dub. I really love it. So when I heard this one, that actually is a great story. I was at a convention in Germany, and they were screening the German dub of Madoka Magica while actually having the producer of Madoka Magica there as a guest star. And I was like, well, this is going to be fun. I know the whole show inside out, but I'm going to watch it. And I went there and I saw the first 2 episodes and I was like, whoa. The dub is really good. Holy hell, how did they manage to do this? I haven't seen it in such a long time. And the first thing I did is I went out to the booth and I bought that whole box set of the German dub and had it signed by Calafina and by the producer. Because I was like, this is worth buying. This is worth giving my money to. These guys deserve every cent. And I don't regret that. Because it's so rare these days to have an actual good German dub of an anime. Aside from this, I also really like trying to find old German dubs that I grew up with and rewatching them, just seeing how they still hold up. And sometimes I even find that they're better than the original dubs, but other times they're really terrible. For example, the best dub of I already mentioned Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters before, and how terrible the original Japanese dub sounds when you actually speak Japanese, especially Yugi's voice, which is, you can tell this guy is not actually a voice actor, but a soap opera actor that they got. He takes like 3 seasons to actually produce something decent as the character. The German dub of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters is really good. And even though it's based off the 4Kids dub, for one thing, while they had to work with the 4Kids script, they undid some of the censorship that 4Kids did, using the words die and such, and even translating the card names more accurately. And they used the most high-quality voice actors they could. They even went as far as to give Yugi and Artem 2 different voice actors, just so they could actually do both characters justice as separate characters. They got voice actors that sound like they could technically come from the same voice, but who had very different ranges, which made it really work very well. And I really appreciate how much effort went into that dub. It sounds so professional. It's the best dub of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters in my opinion. The only bad thing, well, aside from the abridged series, the only bad thing about it is that most of the jokes regarding Pegasus' character were lost, but maybe that's not so bad given that I never found those jokes to be all that funny anyway, so that's just my opinion though. So yeah, German dub of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, really good. You should watch it, if you speak German. And if you are interested in an old show about trading cards that really isn't as good as the manga it's based on, at all. Other shows that I watch in German, well, basically anything that I can get my hands on. Ochamachi has a really good German dub too, but there's also some really terrible German dubs out there, especially of newer shows like I say newer, but I mean anything from mid-2000s. The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya has such a terrible German dub. I try to forget that it exists, but it haunts me every day, every night. Just the fact that every time Kyon opens his mouth in that version, I can see the cue cards that he's reading off from in my mental mind. And the fact that they gave Nagato Yuki a voice actress who sounds so incredibly emotional. I think it's the same voice actress that would later go on to voice Homura in Madoka Magica, and like, she nails Homura. She can do Homura, because with Homura it's not that she's emotionless, it's just that she's very bitter. But a bitter Yuki just doesn't rock. Yuki isn't bitter, she's just not programmed to show her emotions. That's her whole point. So it was a very terrible dub. Oh yeah. But yeah, that's basically me with how I react to my dubs. I try to listen in every different language that I can speak and compare the qualities. And honestly, sometimes the original is the best, sometimes one of the other dubs is the best. It really depends. So, now that I've eloquently answered this, let's move on to the next question. So Alexis Buskra, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm really sorry. I should be more careful about this. I hope I'm not being awkward. What am I talking about? I'm always being awkward. That's the existence of my being. That's the truth of my life. Anyway, to be honest, I'd theorized that Stevoni was a pink diamond fusion gem, not the real pink diamond. I can't believe I really got close to the truth in there. Yeah. I guess it's the regal sense of, Stevoni really comes across as royalty whenever they appear on screen. They have this sort of moving themselves, they just appear magical. It's like a god, a deity almost. It's amazing. And especially when they fight, you get this feeling that they're a force to be reckoned with. It's almost like there's some kind of deity from, whatever mythology. There's so many mythologies to choose from. It could be from any of them. But yeah, I guess they really nailed the whole diamond vibe with Stevoni, which is ironic because Stevoni should be the furthest we're getting from Pink Diamond, because it's filtered through Steven and then filtered again through Connie. But I guess Connie is just so much of a goddess on her own that she brought all of the goddessiness back into the fusion. Stevoni is perfect. I meant Connie is perfect, but Stevoni too. So, Alexis Bask again. So, I don't know what you're referring to because I'm so far behind again, but so kinda like how Tetsuya and Nomura decided to fuck the Kingdom Hearts plot. That's not what I still really love Kingdom Hearts, but if you're referring to the time travel thing, yeah, what was the idea behind that? Why? What was the idea behind that? How? I still, it's been years by now, and I still can't believe that they actually did that. Like, I still love Kingdom Hearts. I'm still looking forward to the next game, but like, I wish he didn't do the time travel thing. Everybody knows that time travel is poison to your story. Don't add time travel if you want your story to make sense. Don't add time travel if you don't want to write yourself into a corner. But Nomura just went like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Mr. Nomura, no, stop. I'm gonna do it. Time travel, here we go. And now I'm just like, I hope this doesn't crash and burn. I hope you know where you're going with this. I have my serious doubts because it was very, let's say, interesting in the way you introduced it. But I'll trust you, Mr. Nomura, but I have my doubts. I love you, man, but be careful. You're treading on I don't know how to pronounce this, on very dangerous grounds. I'm going to do this in a geometrical fashion, and I need to use it bigger. So. Oh Again, about the Kingdom Hearts theme, yeah, Colin Kelly says, he's picking up the pieces, I give him props for trying to make sense of it, even if he adds too many characters. Yes, that. It's not just the characters, it's the time travel thing. The characters don't bother me as much as the fact that he just has messed with the timeline beyond repair. It's don't. You're not Doctor Who. Don't do this. Only Doctor Who is allowed to do time travel bullshit. Well, I guess Erased and Ghost Trick also nailed it, and Madoka Magica gets a free pass because they used it in an intelligent way. But you're not Madoka Magica. Okay, I need a thinner line here. That looks good. So, next question. Have you ever read Paradise Lost by John Milton? I don't... You're not talking about the original poem, right? I don't know if that was actually... If the guy was called John Milton. I only know the original poem and only from details I've read about it, but I don't know if you're talking about some sort of adaptation or the real thing here, so I'm sorry. I'll have to pass on this one. Bloody key. That's some really great artwork you're doing. Thank you, guys. I'm so happy you like it. Kazuna, to quote Neni, in order to express my frustration with the current state of Kingdom Hearts plot. Gee! Oh yeah, I remember doing that. At the point right now, I'm not playing Kingdom Hearts 2 right now simply because I got very frustrated and I realized that Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links was much more rewarding to play, so I kind of put it to the side, but I'll pick it back up again because eventually I need to finish the plot. But even so, I didn't wanna. You could have, especially because, as I told you guys before, I played the original browser version of the game and it was good. It was fun. It actually felt like a group experience where you were working together and it was interesting, it was rewarding, you actually got stuff out of what you did. And then they shut it down and they made a crappy phone game from it, and I still wonder why. Couldn't you just have ported the same game to the phone and kept everything about it that worked? But no, you had to change everything because potatoes. It really makes me angry because I miss the original game. I miss it so much. It was so much fun and they just scrapped it for something that doesn't even make sense in the lore. Like, they took out the guilting mechanic, which was plot relevant, and I don't know how that seemed like a good idea, because the guilting mechanic originally actually made so much sense in how it was applied, and now it's just a gimmick that most people don't even realize had anything to do with the plot. Makes me angry. Makes me so angry. And I don't even think this is because of Nomura, because I don't think Nomura does much beyond write the story for that phone game. So, the crown is still coming along nicely. Maybe it needs thicker outlines? I don't think so. Actually, this is a tiara, so... His name really does mean crown, huh? I didn't realize this. The thing is, we actually, here in Vienna, where I live, we have our cathedral here, our biggest church in all of the country is called the St. Stephen's Cathedral. I did not realize it meant crown. But that explains a lot about that cathedral too. I mean, it's named after a saint, but it does have some royal connotations to it, so maybe that was intentional? I don't know. Let me save. So, next question. I had an idea. Do you think there should be a Persona crossover with MLP? What do you think? I'm not the person to ask for MLP crossovers because I never watched too much of the show. But it's possible. You can do anything. The sky's the limit. Do what you feel is great. You can do anything you want. Especially with a flexible setting like My Little Pony. I think that one doesn't give you too many restrictions. So the background right now is Gem Shots. perfect jam music right now. Oh god, I'm so slow, but it just means the stream will continue. Cyanejima, Ace Attorney. Just someone make this. Yes, I that was actually my first thought when the character was revealed. I was like, that should be a thing. She kind of gives me an Ace Attorney character vibe anyway. She's kind of, she reminds me of Mia, which is hilarious because she's a prosecutor, but Lana Skye, exactly. She's very similar to Lana Skye. Especially because she also has a little sister who's very, well, even if Emma is more eccentric than Makoto. But it's similar in that regard. So, next question. Green is the best color, fight me you all. I agree. Well, my favorite colors are pink and purple, which you can probably tell from my choice of outfits in the videos, so I guess. Lies, blue and purple are the best colors. Closer! You're getting closer! Where did I get? Okay, I keep losing, you guys! Oh my god, I'm so far behind. I hope you guys forgive me for being so far behind. Excuse me, red is the best color. It's a component of all my favorite colors, so I can kind of agree with that. Red and green are good slave colors. Meant to serve the true royal color. Oh god, are we in Yami Marek territory, you know? I unleash my full nerd, I'm sorry. Madoka Magica was never dubbed in French except for the movies. And from what I've seen, it sucks. I am really sorry to hear that. As I said, the German dub was really great. I feel sorry for everyone who hasn't got that great of a German dub for it. Yeah, that was my phone. Excuse my phone. That was not your phone. Don't adjust your phone. It was mine. I have it right next to the mic, which was probably a bad idea, so I will put it away. So, let me continue this. 1, 2, 3. So that is nailed it. That's what I say about everything now. So yeah, everything about this is nailed it. It's close enough. I can accept this as my truth. I can accept this as my reality. So let's move on to Stephen's body. I guess he deserves to be more than a head, crying head. Poor guy has gone through so much and is still just a head. So I give him this diamond brooch and I put some tears on it. Those are not tears. Those are supposed to be like things holding his cape in place because I gave him a cape because clearly it's symbolic. So let's move on. Orange. My favorite color is orange. Kazuna, I will fight you. When did the color wars happen? What are your opinions on the Hoseki no Kuni manga? Oh, I know that Hoseki no Kuni exists, and I know that it shares some themes with Steven Universe, interestingly enough. But I don't know anything about it besides that. I just know that there's also gems in there, and that's all. And that's all I know about it. I'm really sorry. Again, if I could add it to my to-read list, but I'm already kind of stressing out. So, Spicy, heyo, hate to see you. I know it's late, but again, I am going through these slowly. Are you a Walking Dead fan? No. I know it exists. I know it exists. I know a lot of people like it. I never managed to see anything about it. So no, I'm sorry. I should zoom in further. That's not it. That's close enough. So, Steven Universe is French. I only play and art CL and Elseworld. Everything in my life must be blue and purple. What? I don't know what's going on here with the color wars, but whatever. Steven Universe French dub is a thing of legends, and famously so. Oh god. I only know the German dub, and I know the German dub is... I know the Japanese dub too. I know the Japanese dub is really, really bad, except for Peridot, who got a good voice actress for some reason. Everybody else got a very, very terrible voice actor, and I don't know why that happened. Even though it's still got a lot of fans in Japan, from what I can tell. It's only airs on pay TV in Japan, from what I know, so the fan base is, of course, limited, but... Why did the Japanese dub get such bad voice actors? Oh god. Except for Peridot, who already sounds like an anime character, so I guess it makes sense. Oh hey, it's Rebecca Sugar singing. Nice to find yourself somewhere different. Oh, when you love yourself, just be wherever you are. Okay, next question. Oh, we're still at the French dub being bad, or according to Kasuna good. I don't know anything about it. I don't know French. I could ask a friend of mine who speaks French, but I doubt he'd have seen it. He barely has seen Steven Universe to begin with, so I can't really talk about the French dub. I can only tell you don't watch the German dub, mostly Pearl sounds like a kid. Steven sounds like he's 25. Garnet sounds like she's just Ruby without Sapphire involved for some reason. I think, Amethyst is the only one who sounds remotely like herself. Peridot sounds decent enough, but she's too old. And I think Lapis is constantly constipated from the sound of her voice. Which I guess isn't too far off, but come on. So, fuck yeah, I can't wait. I don't know what this was about. Again, I'm so far behind, you will have to clarify when you make statements like this. I have a friend from France and they are really into Azu and yes, you... Okay, I'm still talking about the French dub. Oh, for Kingdom Hearts 3, I guess. It's okay if you swear. I try to not swear, but it's a bad habit I picked up from my siblings. Lovey Neni. Oh god, this art piece is depressing. Welcome to Neni's world. If I write something or draw something, this is what you can expect. Suffering. Because that is how I roll. I like to make people suffer so I can make them unsuffer again later. I think I once drew a sketch dump of my favorite characters from three different franchises. Kingdom Hearts, Steven Universe, and Persona. Just to end it all with, at the bottom of the sketch dump, kill them all in the most painful ways. So I had Shion dissolving into ice, Peridot stare as her gem shatters because somebody shot a projectile through it, and Teddy just melt away into shadow goo because my love hurts. Don't tell my boyfriend. He mustn't know. He mustn't know he's still in my trap. He shall never know until it's too late. No, I love my boyfriend. I wouldn't hurt him. I just hurt fictional characters because they can't hurt me back. Well, they can, but... I'm being ironic here. Please don't take anything well, not ironic. I'm trying to be funny and I'm failing. Don't take me seriously. I am not a serial killer. Thank you. So, I don't remember what episode this music is from, but it sounds very filler episode-y. Well, as far as you can call anything in Steven Universe filler. Wasn't this the wrestling episode? I'm not sure. Kind of sounds like the wrestling episode. There was more than one wrestling episode, but still. So, next one. Sorry, Neni, I didn't know if you allow swears. Sorry about that. Again, I sometimes swear by accident, but I don't mind if you swear, honestly. Miles Edgeworth. I'm talking about the original Paradise Lost. Oh, Lost. Okay, good. I know that poem. I haven't actually read the original, but I've seen some analyses of it online. Because I'm a knowledge sponge. If I see stuff like this, I'm just interested and read it. So yeah, I know what it's about. I personally think it's from what I've seen, it's kind of like fan fiction. That it's kind of hilarious, but not my cup of tea when it comes to interpret. Well, what am I saying? I love it when people interpret religion. So more power to this guy. But a lot of stuff that he does, I wouldn't have done personally if I were to interpret the religion. So, Sultan Lanot, if I'm pronouncing this right, which I'm probably not. So, I decided to emulate all 4 Persona games that released on PS1 and PS2 and PSP. Technically 5, but P3P is a re-release, so wish me luck. Have fun with that. The Persona games are really worth it. You're really in for a treat. But just be warned that Persona 1 and Persona 2 are mechanically really outdated, so do your best. Do your best is the best I can say there. I really had trouble with the... Well, if you played Persona Q, then I guess Persona 1 isn't that difficult anymore, because it shares a lot of mechanics with Persona 1. Some of them coincidentally, some of them intentionally. So Persona Q is a good preparation to go back and play Persona 1, actually. But Persona 2, I never could get over the mechanics. I love the story, but the mechanics are so terrible. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people love Persona 2, but... the controls. The controls, god damn it. If they could only remake that game, I'd be a happy camper. It deserves better controls. And I mean really remake, not just port it like they did. Like with a new engine and everything. So. No, I did not get that far. I don't know what this was about. How old are you? Because you are very pretty. Have you seen me in my videos? Thank you, but I'm taken. Thank you, but I'm taken. But thank you for the compliments. I am 26 years old. I look way younger than that. But that's my true age. Even if some people wouldn't believe it based on my looks. I still have to show my ID to buy alcohol, so that's a thing. Studying my master's degree in Japanese studies, working at the University of Economics as a research assistant. I'm not afraid of giving that data away, because I like when I talk about stuff that people know what kind of background I come from. And I'm having a déjà vu right now. Weird. Maybe I dreamt something like this. Or maybe it's just a regular déjà vu, which just means nothing except my brain misinterpreted some information. Because that's a thing too. So. French dub talk again. Also emulated Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. I still need to play that. I've been needing to play that for years. So. Lovey Neni 7. Hey Neni, I just joined into the stream. Have you already given your thoughts on the SU reveal? I think some people are overblowing it. I've given my thoughts, but I have a whole video on it prepared, but I haven't. I still need to do some stuff before I upload it. But I can sum it up again. Basically, what I think about the reveal is I think it's really cool. I think it was foreshadowed properly. It really changes a lot about how the show works so far. But when people every time I see somebody claim this is bad writing, or this was a lazy twist or a retcon or whatever, I'm just like, you guys, you forgot how writing works, right? They foreshadowed it properly. They have been they've even confirmed they'd had this plan since the very beginning. They've been foreshadowing it, like, left and right. It's been done really well. It fits very well into the narrative. It goes very well with the established narrative that Rose Quartz is not as as white, like, I'm saying white in the sense, pure character as we'd initially been led to believe. This is like the final nail in the coffin of the broken pedestal that she's been dealing with since the past couple of seasons. And now Stephen, just this idolized image of his mother that he's had, is finally shattered entirely, and now he can work to step out of her shadow and live as his own person. Because I think that's the whole point. He's not supposed to idolize his mother. He's supposed to realize that she was a flawed person who made mistakes, and he has to live his life on his own. He has to deal with her mistakes, but he has to do it in his own way. I think that's the whole point of it. We're not supposed to like her at this point. We're supposed to know that she's not a bad person, but that she did a lot of dumb shit that put everyone in danger. And I fully understand why a lot of people hate her now, because she was stupid. She was a child. She was childish. She till the moment that she expired, to put it lightly, she was a child who did not realize the implications of what she was doing. And now Stephen has to deal with it, and he's already emotionally more mature than she ever got to be. That's what I think about it. And I think it's a very good arc to teach, to have. It destroys the perfect image that we had of the character before, but I think that's good, because we're not supposed to idolize her like that. We were never supposed to. It was a bait and switch in a lot of ways. Na 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 na. Also, this song, Learn How to Love Like You, makes a lot of more sense now if you consider that it's Rose singing it, because it shows that she's aware of her shortcomings. Greg taught her a lot about her shortcomings, but she sadly took the wrong conclusion from it and ended up putting it all on Stephen. That's how I interpret this song, at least now that we know this. So, let's move on. Okay, Dupin deleted one message here. I'm so far behind that people keep deleting messages. I hope everything is okay. I mean, it makes sense that you guys would go back and delete messages if I end up replying to them before you get there. If the Walking Dead event really did happen, what's your... again, I didn't play or watch Walking Dead, so I can't reply that. Melvin. The Ace Attorney series is based on the... you were talking about Ace Attorney. The Ace Attorney series is based on the terrible Japanese legal system, after all. Yeah, the Japanese legal system, terrible is one word for it. Rushed is another. It's not quite as bad as Ace Attorney makes it out to be, because Ace Attorney takes sort of a post-apocalyptic idea with it. Like, it's the idea, like, what if our legal system, but a lot of our legal system got even worse than it already is. It's not quite that bad in Japan, but it's very bad. It's very bad. It's mostly nobody really wants to go to court in Japan, so most of all lawsuits end in settlements out of court, because nobody wants to go to court, because everybody's scared of going to court. So I think a lot of the conviction rate has to do with that the only cases that actually end up tried before court are those where it's really unavoidable, where you can't settle. And of course, those often end in guilty verdicts. But if there's a possibility to settle out of court, people will settle out of court. And that explains the high conviction rate, because people who don't get convicted just settle out of court. Okay, that should do it. Could you do Mr. Meeseeks from Rick and Morty? Hi! I'm Mr. Meeseeks! I can't do this voice. I don't know why you want me to do voices. I'm not good at doing voices. I'm not Triple. Triple isn't in the stream. If he was, you could ask him. He's really good at doing voices. Triple is actually preparing to do a video on Persona, his own. He's going to do a double feature with me. We're going to do 2 videos on the social links. He's going to talk about the social links in general, and I'm going to talk about why I hate the Romance roots. So look forward to that. It's going to be... I'm generally want Triple to do some videos of his own on this channel, because I always kind of wanted this channel to be a team effort between myself and my closest friends. So finally putting that into motion. Poor guy's head is spinning. It was the wait for the new Kingdom Hearts game. What is going on here? Oh god, I'm so far behind. I'll skip over the stuff that I think doesn't have any context anymore. Oh, besides from YouTube, what else do you work? Well, this is mostly a hobby. I don't earn that much money from it. My real work is like, I mentioned it before, but my real job is I'm a research assistant at the Vienna University of Economics. I currently help one of the professors with a project about regarding a gender gap in the filing of patents. And right now I mostly do research, additional research for her, and right now I'm transcribing her interviews with actual inventors. And I hate transcription work, but it has to be done. Somebody has to do it, and that somebody is me. Well, I'm one of the people doing it, it's not just me. But it's really nice. I love my job. I have a nice office. I get to work at my own pace. I'm useful is the most important thing. So yeah, that's my job. And aside from that, I'm still studying. I'm studying my master's degree in Japanese studies, and once I got that, let's see. I'd love to go into research. Honestly, I think that's really what I'm meant to do. Just creating stuff and researching stuff, talking about stuff, all my life, all day, all my life long, till the end. So. Why are you quoting the "Hi, I'm Daisy, Shadow Teddy" thing? And the PlayStation Vita and Death Steak. Okay, so much stuff is going on here. I love Shadow Teddy, he's a really cool shadow, but I don't think that's what I'm supposed to talk about right now, no. Did you hear that there was going to be a Persona Q2? Yes, and I'm really looking forward to it. Oh god, Kasuna has lost control. What is going on here? You guys are amazing. Bloody Key, you're a year younger than me. I guess I am. Why are you asking me for my favorite food? I don't have a favorite food. I can eat just about anything. I guess if push really comes to shove, I'd say gyudon, like beef bowl. But I'm generally very versatile. I cook a lot, and I like a lot of different foods, like veggies and meat and everything. I'm eating a lot of different things. It's not like I don't have any absolute favorite food. I have a lot of foods I really love, but nothing that trumps them all. It depends on how I feel that day. That's an interesting question to ask me, though. Then I guess, So, what's amazing about Paradise Lost? And now I lost it. I lost Paradise Lost. Amazing. What's amazing about Paradise Lost is that it was the original story that made Lucifer into a sympathetic bad boy character, which would even spawn the depiction of Lucifer. And yeah, I know about this. Lucifer and Shin Megami Tensei. Yeah, this is where Lucifer is first portrayed as just an angel with daddy issues, which I think is an interesting take on the character. But I think in the end, I think what you need to realize about the whole devil thing is like it's a lot more complex than him just being a bad boy with issues. From a religious standpoint, I mean, it's pretty clear what the devil is supposed to represent. He's the shadow of our reality. He's like all the bad things that we cannot avoid in life. And the whole thing, not just bad things, but like the desires that we can't control, the things that we need but can't really control. It's a lack of control, basically, which makes sense because with Shin Megami Tensei, which portrays him as the chaos thing, And of course there's the infamous confusion of Lucifer and Satan and all this stuff. There's so much to talk about, honestly. I could do a whole video just, well, more than one. I could do an endless number of videos on how religious symbolism has been used over the years, but that would require a lot of research, and I already do so many projects, and I should probably focus on my expertise, which is video games and Japanese stuff. Just saying, I could talk about it. I think I'm actually getting closer to catching up with you guys. You have slowed down, I think. Either that, or I just managed to fight through all the color comments. So in a way, Paradise Lost, we would not have the Persona franchise. I guess so. I mean, it influenced a lot about how religious symbolism is used these days. Have I run out of music in the background? Nah, it's still going. Good. As you can see, I gave Stephen some jeweled wings here. I should probably go with something. So, let's... Who's your favorite YouTuber? Huh. That's difficult because I keep watching through different channels every few times, but there's this one guy called Peter Knatter, who does mostly Sonic related videos, but he also just speaks about other things, and he has this gimmick where he has a little cardboard figurine of Shadow the Hedgehog that he made himself that comments on his videos too, and I think that's really cute. I actually co-opted this. This is kind of what the thing I did in the Lovers video with the figurines that I was talking to was based on, this his cardboard silver thing, and I really like his videos. I love his style I love how lighthearted he is about it. I love how open-hearted he is about it, and he's kind of... I'm trying to be like a more informative version of what he's doing. Not that I'm trying to usurp him, not at all. Nobody could usurp Peter Knatter. He's a level of himself. I think he doesn't get enough attention. He's really, really fun to watch. I watch his videos when I just need to wind down and feel that the world is worth being in. The world is a nice place where there are nice things. That's when I watch his videos. He seems like a really nice guy, especially when he responds to comments. A really sweet guy. He has a series, that's probably how you can find him easily, called What's Up With, and he just enter What's Up With and title of Sonic game, and you should get one of his videos because he's done a What's Up with most of the Sonic games so far. Including Sonic 2006, which he actually played devil's advocate for. So, Miles Edgeworth, well, sympathetic. He's not pure evil and he has qualities that I appreciate though. But yeah, I guess that's true. So, the character of Lucifer has really been co-opted a lot. And I appreciate that because it adds layers to the psychological meaning of this character as an archetype. I do appreciate that. Did you see the next Avengers movie yet? No, I did not. As I said earlier, I don't go to the cinema that much. So I'm kind of behind on this kind of stuff. Originally, a friend was going to go to the cinema with me, but he ended up going with his brother instead, so... I Lovey Neni 7 completely agree with your thoughts on Rose's character. I'm just really upset that people are villainizing her for her dumb mistakes. I mean, I understand why they do it, because she kind of screwed everyone over, especially Steven and Pearl. Oh god, Pearl. Pearl, you deserve better than this, baby. I feel like she was, in my opinion, am I the only one who thinks that Rose was just extremely oblivious about Pearl's emotions? Because she kind of she went and dated with everyone ever and just treated Pearl as the best friend character. And Pearl was just like that. And I kind of wanted to be with you, but this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. It's not fine. Now you're turning into a baby. This is not fine. I feel like at least we saw that Pearl has collected she's aggregated an impressive collection of phone numbers by now, so I hope she's been going on dates. I hope she's been trying to actually go out there and finally get some, something that she deserves after all these years. She just deserves to be in a stable relationship. I mean, it's okay to go date around. She deserves better. I hope all these phone numbers actually are being put to use. I hope she's not just gathering them and then forgetting about them. In her alphabetized subconscious mind. Oh god, the outward person, like the layers of her mind that we saw in that episode, it was basically like very Jungian in that way. We saw how her mind is just structured into the most outward layer, which is most similar to a persona, which is just everything is alphabetized, and this is how I deal with everything in my life. I need absolute order. And then we just go deeper and deeper into everything sucks, I hate my life, oh my god, Rose, come back, I love you, baby. She just somebody give her a hug and a kiss and a little bit more. She deserves so much better. But yeah, sorry, I got astray about Rose. I still like her as a character, but it's just you really screwed everyone over, including herself in a way. Kazuna, I think Rose was less childlike and more immoral. Calling her childlike is somewhat true, but I think it gives her too much credit. I think it doesn't give her too much credit. I think the reason is she's not immoral. She thought she was doing the right thing. She was very based on her impulse, and I think it's because of her nature as a gem. I think because she's a rose quartz gem, I think, and not rose quartz, I mean pink diamond gem. Well, pink colored diamonds are meant to symbolize passion. She's controlled by her passions, which makes her a very good fit for the Empress Arcana, actually. And she never got that under control. She should have worked on it harder, but she just let her passions absolutely control her. She's the polar opposite of her sister, Yellow Diamond, in that regard, and I think childlike is a correct description for her there. Because she didn't manage to grow up. She didn't manage to grow up. That's the whole thing with her. Bloody Key asking what's the time zone where you're at. Okay, that's getting very specific. I'll just tell you that I'm Austrian and you'll go from there, okay? And that it's nighttime right now, but and you're asking me if I can draw Mr. Meeseeks. Well, I'm nowhere done with this drawing yet, so nowhere near done with this drawing yet, so no, not anytime soon. I want to have this one finished first. Cutest. Oh, you're talking about cutest, I guess? Okay, thank you. So, lovey nannies. Okay, random question, but have you seen Agretsuko yet? If not, do. I don't know what Agretsuko is, but I'll take your word for it. Another thing to put on my watch list. Wonderful! My watch list is never going to be completed, ever. I'd need another whole lifetime to watch everything that's on it. Can I have another lifetime, please? Can I be immortal? Can I be immortal, please? No, I don't want to be immortal. That would be sad, but it would be amazing to be able to just freeze time while I'm watching anime, so I can do that for as long as I want and then continue living life. Anime and cartoons and play video games. Actually, let me do everything in time stasis. That's not how life works, I know, but let me dream. I know that wouldn't be ideal. I think about that kind of stuff a lot. I know that there's no such thing as an ideal, but hey, in my dreams everything is perfect. Unless it's a nightmare, then everything is terrible, but let's not go there. suggestion, but I think you might do so gaming on your channel. I actually sometimes do play games on a stream. It's just, I mostly use my streams to talk to people and maybe sometimes draw weird things. Well, that's the second time I'm drawing on, the third time I'm drawing on camera, actually. But the second time I'm streaming it. The first time I wasn't happy with the results, so I didn't do it again too quickly. But now I know what I want to draw, so that's why I'm doing it again. Because I had this sketch to work on. So. Let's see how this wing. I've been drawing for quite a while now. I might not actually be able to finish this today. I might have to finish this off camera. I know that Lucifer and Satan are not the same thing. I just bungled a sentence there. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I just bungled my sentence there. I know they're not the same thing. I've talked about this before. Do you play RuneScape? Nope, I don't play RuneScape. Sorry. Lol, she gave Stephen pimp wings. I just thought, like, how do I make him as uncomfortably royal as possible? Like, how do I make it like I don't want to be in this position? And so I gave him gem wings. Just like, especially with all the stuff that symbolizes in this in this universe. Wait, did Stephen put shattered gems in the rings? That's creepy, Neni. Yeah, I know. This is supposed to be creepy. That's actually sort of. I wasn't specifically going for shattered gems, but this is like supposed to be like the subjugation of the diamonds of other gems. So yeah, it is supposed to be creepy. I like doing creepy stuff. That totally happened. Okay. Hello, Everwill. Nice to see new people. Kasuna says, okay, no, she was the exact opposite. She was not oblivious, she was downright exploitative of Pearl. I guess that's a difference in interpretation. I don't think she intentionally hurt Pearl. I think I mean, if you look at her actions later on as Rose, I think it's pretty clear that she often didn't have an understanding of what she was doing. I think people are giving her intelligence too much credit in a lot of ways, because I don't think she was as smart as everybody made her out to be, especially not as smart as Pearl made her out to be. I think she was just kind of bratty. Yes, her relationship with Rose was very Pearl's and Rose's relationship was very unhealthy, but I don't think Rose was aware of what she was doing to Pearl. I think she didn't get the memo of what this was. She just, oh, you friend. We're friends now, we're besties. And great, I can go out and have lovey-dovey with humans. And Pearl was just like, this is fine. This is fine. I don't think she realized what she was doing to Pearl, but that's just my interpretation. So, I think Rose did really think maybe even other champs, not that she thought less than Greg, but she thought of him as a helpless. Yeah, that's the thing, like, Rose had a really poor understanding of how other people work. Like, extremely poor. I think she barely even understood how she herself worked. She was trying to learn, but she didn't get very far, is the thing. In the 5,000 years that she was on Earth, she still kind of regressed a lot. Mostly because she just kept jumping from immature relationship to immature relationship, I guess. Like, at first I thought that all Pearl's mental instability, but now I feel like her entire relationship was... Yeah, it was unhealthy. This was an unhealthy relationship. I think that was pretty obvious for quite a while now. Because Pearl was codependent on Rose, and now that we know the reason for it, it's even more creepy. She needs a healthy relationship, a healthy working relationship, and Rose was never the right person for it. Never. So, is this from the Mike Roll episode? Oh, fittingly enough, because it's about Pearl. I wonder if Pearl now likes hard rock. She goes to hard rock concerts and picks up girls. I'd totally be on I'd totally be on board with that. She deserves it. And I think she'd be very respectful about it too, unlike certain other people with babe hunt tendencies. I'm sure Pearl's babe hunts would be a lot cooler. I don't know how many times we already had that song now, but I'm okay with it. So. Sorry, I didn't mean to sound creepy to you. It's okay. It's just weird to get so many personal questions. So, Nick the Agent, what's up, dog? Hey, if you're the same Nick as I think. Oh yeah, you're the same Nick. Hey, nice to see you. Hey, the blame is just as much on Rose as it is on Pearl. What blame does Pearl have? Pearl has no blame. She's not to blame for this unhealthy relationship. She was her Pearl. She was kind of predestined. I mean, it could have been worse. She could have ended up with somebody who treats her like dirt, but on the other hand, this was just like, she was being led on. It was like the ultimate... I know this is controversial to say, but this was like the ultimative friend-zoning. Okay, probably the last question I can ask right now. Would you say it'd be a good thing if the P5 and P2 crew were to meet each other in Persona Q2? It'll never happen, but I can still dream. Actually, I already came up with a concept how the Persona 2 characters could meet with could have come up in Persona Q1, but generally, I know they are not bringing them back because they don't want to touch Satomi Tadashi's characters anymore, but if they did, I think it could work. I think you could easily bring those characters into contact with the newer characters and make it work. They could have some really interesting dynamics too. I get why they're not doing it. It's respect and maybe even some fear from the work of the previous writer. But I don't think it's impossible, and I encourage people to do fan work about it. I've seen some really good fan work about it, so let's do it, guys. Sky's the limit for us. I've seen some really cool fan work about it, honestly. This line is too thick. This is a diamond, you guys. This is a diamond. We should have known. Look at the top of it. It kind of looks like one. Looks like one. We were duped for so long. They even had it on their freaking shirt. How did we not tell? I'm drawing a diamond. From top view diamond. Bird's view diamond. Stephen is a bird's view diamond. He's... Well, he can float, I guess. Stephen floats. Friendly reminder to Neni that I can do a decent 30 impression. I'll remember that. Evo, well, what do you think of Capcom? I think Capcom, I read I don't think they're that good a company, but compared to some others, maybe they have some leeway, but... Then again, I know of a lawsuit where they almost drove a woman who worked on Monster Hunter to death several times, just because they kind of not liked her. Kind of didn't like her, so yeah, I don't think they're that morally upright. That they're dangerously close to Konami levels to me, personally. But it still makes some good games, so I try to avoid their products these days, honestly. It's, especially with how Ace Attorney has been going. So, So, Pearl is too good for Rose. Rose honestly doesn't deserve Pearl. I agree. Pearl and Rose are not a good couple. Those two should not, Pearl should never have fallen in love with Rose. Not just because Rose was never able to actually give Pearl what she needed, which was a healthy self-esteem. And I hope she gets together with somebody who's able to give her that now. Because all that Rose ended up doing was make all of her new roses worse and worse and worse. Oh, hey, the Silver Lights theme. It's been so long since we've seen a new fusion. I'm really hoping we get to see one soon. The last time we thought we were going to get a new fusion, nope, it was instead we got Zombie Lars. Because that was the thing that needed to happen. I mean, not that I complain, it was awesome, but still. So, Pink was a child, but in power and told she had basically got to a lesser kind. Yeah, she was godlike in her powers, but she was just too major for the, even especially for the movement she started. She started this huge movement, even though she was just kind of impulsive. She didn't think it through. She never thought anything through. I especially think she did not think having Stephen through. If she had thought it through, she would have taken more precaution than a single tape. I wonder how Greg didn't object, but I think he probably didn't know until it was too late. She probably just put that on him, like she put everything on everyone ever. Oh, yeah, that song. All this stuff is... Every time we learn something new about this show, old episodes take a completely different meaning. So, next question. Oh, I'm getting a little tired here, oh gosh. Pearl needs a healthy relationship with Mystery Girl. Yeah, or with one of the other people, other 10, 20 people whose numbers she got. Jem. Yes. What do you think was in the treasure chest inside Lion's Mane? Honestly, at this point, you know what would be great? If there was a long, eloquent apology letter in there in which she explains to everyone how she screwed up and how she hopes that Stephen is a better person than her. Because that's like, if it just was this huge letter which goes like, I'm sorry, I screwed up everything ever, I'm sorry Pearl, I'm sorry everyone, I just couldn't handle things, but I think Stephen is going to be a better person than me. I'm sorry Stephen for putting this all on you, but I just sucked too much. This is what I kind of expect at this point. Just Rose admitting that, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not a good mom. But that's just me right now. So, white diamonds in the chest, mark my words. I don't know, wouldn't they have been searching for her if she'd been kidnapped for years? unless nobody actually likes her. Maybe she was like the one friend, the one family member nobody actually likes, but they all invite to dinner parties because she's kind of there, and it's rude to not invite her, and she's still on the icons because I guess she's there. I guess she's important. We can't just leave her out. She'd be angry next Christmas, next Thanksgiving. That's that's the only explanation I'd find for her being in the chest, but I don't see it happening, honestly. Do you play any trading card games? Oh, I freaking love trading card games. As a kid, I used to play the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game and the Pokemon trading card game. These days, I play Weiß-Schwarz and Rick Cross. And aside from that, I also play Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. And my boyfriend and Triple have been trying to get me into a new game. So Wendy and Triple have been trying to get me into a new trading card game. And I'll be looking forward to how that goes. I don't even know what it is yet. I just heard them talking about it. But yeah, right now I'm playing mostly Rick Cross, Duel Links, and oh, that song, it's cool. Yeah, right now I mostly play Rick Cross, Weiß-Schwarz, and Duel Links. So, what else is there? Nick, get out of here. Do you mean the Monster Hunter on PlayStation? I don't know which one it was. I just remember that for a friend's school project, I translated a Japanese lawsuit against Capcom for them, and it was about somebody who worked on Monster Hunter, but I don't know which Monster Hunter they worked on. I just know that they worked on a Monster Hunter game. Actually, the only reason I even know it was Monster Hunter is because some stuff in the lawsuit kind of gave it away, even though they didn't outright say it. But I realized that this has to be Monster Hunter. It can't really be anything else. But by the way the inventories are described as, so that only makes sense if it was a Monster Hunter game. But I don't know which one she worked on, so I don't know when that happened. The lawsuit wasn't clear enough for that. This works. So is this your is your playlist just Steven Universe OST? I just selected a playlist I found online of Steven Universe music, so that's it. And now we have all these rose quartzes in bubbles because of Pink Diamond. Yes, this is really uncomfortable now, because we thought that was already bad enough that those were stuck in purgatory for something they didn't do, but now that they're stuck in purgatory for something somebody not even of their species did. And just please, Stephen, go up there, get those girls out of there, they deserve better. Put them somewhere else. Tell them, yeah, my mom screwed up, but it's okay, you can live here. You can hang out with Amethyst. I'm sure she'd love to have some more quartzes to play with. You're all her sisters, technically, so just hang out with her. They're all your sisters. More Famethyst for everyone. More Famethyst is good, actually. We need more Famethyst. Famethyst for life. Famethyst was great. So, have you ever read Homestuck? If so, what do you think of the use of the Gnostic mythos? I've tried to read Homestuck, but I didn't get very far. I do respect it for what it does. I do know that it's very complex, and I do know that there's a lot of world building involved and that it's really cool, but the thing is, I couldn't get into the format. I'm sorry. It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. I know it's cool, but it wasn't for me. I have a whole lot of respect for it. But in the end, I guess Andrew Hussey's style is just not my thing, and that's cool, you know? But, so I can't really talk about the use of the Gnostic mythos in it, but I'm sure that there's other people who've talked about it at length, so I don't think, like, this is a sort of, niche that only I could have covered anyway. So, is this working out so far? I hope I'm not drawing Stephen too skinny or anything. I'm trying to keep him in line with his canon portrayal, and mostly because I'm trying to diversify how I draw characters as well, because I don't want to develop one face syndrome. So, is it Magic the Gathering, the one trading card game? No, that's not the one my boyfriend is trying to get me into. I think it's a digital one, and it's not Hearthstone. It's a digital trading card game that's not Hearthstone. I'll see about it as soon as possible. Have you ever watched any videos from Overly Sarcastic Productions? Oh gosh, yeah, I love them. I love their videos, especially the ones on Journey to the West. That really makes me want to read the original book, but I can't read Chinese and I can't find any Japanese translations of it anywhere. I really need to look harder. Maybe I can read it in Kanbun. That would be interesting. I'm actually taking Kanbun classes in university right now, so maybe that'd be a good exercise, but it would probably be too hard for my level, honestly. Kanbun, for those who don't know, is basically Chinese with annotations that allow you to read the Chinese text as if it was Japanese. It's a very commonly used literary style in Japan, in older Japan literature. Does anybody know what the name Nora means? Because we already discussed that Stephen means crown, but we know that Stephen's other name, like his name if he were a girl, is Nora, so we can kind of see it as a second name for him. So I know that that's Rebecca Sugar just picked Nora because it's her own not middle name, but like a name that her parents almost picked for her, and that Stephen is the name of her brother. But still, it would be interesting to see what it means if Stephen already has sort of significance for this. Oh god, Pink Diamond decided to name her son Crown. She never really got over royalty, did she? Let's hope she didn't know what the name means. So, White Diamond is Neni's problematic grandma. My grandma is not problematic. My grandma is an awesome woman, just so you know. And she's not White Diamond. Well, actually, she's very... She just might be. I have no idea. My grandma is a force all to behold on its own, so... That reminds me we need to play Weiß Schwarz together, Neni. Sure! I'd love to play. I'd love to play it sometimes with you. I have a whole array of decks that I can play. Anytime. Just find a way to challenge me and we'll do it. White Diamond is Nyarlathotep and you know I'm white. I can't even say anything against that because right now we don't... Maybe she's just a force of nature. Maybe she exists in all gems. We don't know right now. We just know she exists and that all we do... Maybe she's just secretly like the subconscious mind of all gems. I wouldn't even be surprised at this point. Or she doesn't even exist and is actually like the gem goddess that they all revere. Did you ever think about what arcana the Steven Universe characters would have? Actually, I talked about this earlier in the video, so if you scroll back a little bit, you might come across it. But somebody else in the chat might actually be able to list it up for you. I don't think I have the time to respond to that question again, but sorry. And thanks for liking the drawing. I'm glad some people enjoy it. Actually, okay, but I should probably let me talk about, okay, maybe let's me sum up the arcana again. I thought Stephen, as he currently is, I think Stephen would be fortune, but in the past it would be more star. I said moon for blue diamond and lapis. I said emperor for yellow diamond, empress for pink diamond / rose. Strength for pearl. No, chariot for pearl. Strength for Connie, and for also amethyst. Lovers for garnet. Priestess for sapphire. Magician for ruby. I think that was about it. Oh yeah, and tower for peridot, but somebody else said hermit. I like how you drew the crown. Thank you. I'm really trying hard to make this picture work. Stephen wearing a Stephen. Yeah, we have been there. Did you know that there was a graphic novel of The Walking Dead? I did not know that. As I said, I don't really know anything about The Walking Dead. Except that people say season 2 is disappointing, I guess. I don't know anything. Noah means honor of light. Well, that also fits. That also really fits, so yeah. I guess the names all do fit in the end. Stephen is now Noah Diamond de Mayo. God. That's his, if he ever needs an alias again and he can't use the Spanish one, that's what he's gonna use. If Stevani ever needs to go anywhere undercover, I am Noah Diamond de Mayo. Oh wait, this is a very bad name to go undercover, actually. Do you have any pets? I used to have guinea pigs when I was a kid, but in the last 10 or so years I didn't. No, in the last 10 or so years I haven't had any. I've been thinking about getting pets again, but right now I don't have anything. And even if I did get pets again, I would probably have to coordinate it with a few people, including Randy, because if we ever gonna move together, he'll have to deal with the pets too, and I don't want to just force that on him. That's not good. But I'd really like to have guinea pigs again. We also used to have cats when I was a kid, but by now they're all, well, in kitty heaven. But yeah, I remember the kitties, they were nice. Noah can be an Irish name, which I am, but it means torch. I know the Latin means honor. That's interesting because my first name actually means torch, but it's not Noah. It's something completely different. You might actually be able to deduce what my name is from my screen name and the fact that it means torch. Feel free to try and figure it out. You might get close. Honestly, I'm not that scared about my identity because honestly, how do you even still hide your identity these days? Everything is in Google. Everybody knows everything. You can literally find me on the page of my workplace with a quick Google. That's the first thing you get when you Google my real name. So it's not like it's a secret. So let me just see how it looks so far without the scribbles. It's coming along well. But I'll definitely have to do the color tomorrow because This is taking way longer than I thought it would, probably because I'm talking as I'm doing this. I'm doing this better as I'm talking. Oh, I confused this. Noah can also be the name of a type of flower which is oddly pink in color. Well, Rebecca Sugar either has the biggest luck or she really thought of every single thing. Would explain why she didn't name him Rebecca. Then again, that would just have been very, very obvious. Hi, one true being, which is a nice name. Hi. I think the pink diamond being roses is bullshit and caused massive amounts of unnecessary pain. That was obvious. Honestly, I don't think it's bullshit. I think it was foreshadowed very well, and as I've said before, it really goes well with the currently ongoing deconstruction of the angelic, idealized image of rose quartz that has been pervading the series ever since the beginning, and I think it was necessary to just dispel this overly perfect image of her, just finally shatter it, pun intended, into pieces. So Stephen can finally start to move beyond it. I think if Rose had not been just utterly destructed as a character like this, destroyed. I'm talking like Rick Cross now. I'm talking like the Rick Cross anime titles now. If Rose hadn't been utterly destroyed by this, it wouldn't be as easy to see where... The show actually has somewhere to move now, and that's important. And this was planned from the beginning, so it's definitely not bullshit. This was what the show has been working to, and if you don't like it, that's okay, but, you know, it was intended. This is the show as we were going to get it all along, so this is just part of the show. I know that there's a lot of people who wanted to see something completely different, but the unnecessary pain and suffering, yes, because Rose and, by extension, Pink Diamond was kind of a douche. We're learning this now, and this is what's relevant. So, I think this is... Feet are terrible. Close enough. I will keep saying this until it's true. But I should really have... No, I can't. No, it's not close enough. I need to do this again. Not close enough. I lied. Oh, that is the razor. That's not going to help. Feet are ugly. Why do we even draw feet? Why do we even have feet? I hate feet. Well, I need them to walk, but you know what I mean. The good thing about Stephen being so chubby is it kind of makes getting his proportions right a lot easier. He looks cute. The cute, it makes it easier to draw him without simplifying him too much. This helped, so white diamond existing in all gems would be really cool, cause it's kind of like the Gnostic idea of the shards of Sophia and the divine light. Yeah, that would be, yeah, I think something like that would be really cool, but we'll have to see where it goes. If she really was like the central network between all gems, that would be interesting. Did you watch JoJo the anime? I tried to, but I couldn't get into it. I'm planning, it's on my to-watch list to try again from the start, because I kind of went from part 3 and I heard that was the wrong way to start, so according to some people, so I'll try it all over again. Connie's last name means Master of the Cosmos in Sanskrit, I believe. Yeah, it does mean that, so it's Master of the Universe, so she is the brains behind the Stephen operation. I do like it. I do like those two together so much. The more I think about it, Peridot should be a magician because she's a cat. That's not a reason to be a magician. The only magician so far who's a cat is Morgana. Just throwing that out there. I know it's a joke, but I'm not funny. Peridot was using all her resources to trap champs that one time and almost succeeded. Yes. Oh yeah, the finally Coyote Roadrunner parody, that was a great episode. I really liked it. Kind of really showed how Peridot had changed as a character so far, and I enjoyed it. Even if the frog thing was very interesting. You know, all the rose quartz being bubbled because of Rose's quartz rebellion kind of reminded me of the punishment inflicted on snakes because the one that tempted Adam and Eve. Actually, I could go further with this. It's actually, I realized that Stephen is kind of a deconstructed Jesus allegory. Like, he's just taking this Jesus allegory trope and taking it apart, because this kid definitely does not want to die for his mother's sins. Definitely not. And he doesn't deserve it. So you could make a video about that too, but I'm not sure this is intentional. Then again, they had this kind of Christmassy imagery with him at that one episode where he was the baby and Greg kind of looked like the Virgin Mary, so that's a thing. Neni, do you like Homestuck? Cause it heavily borrows from Jung in a subtle way. I already said that a few minutes ago, but I never managed to get into Homestuck. Never managed to do this, sorry. No, I meant the episode where Perry lost her foot, limb, and hands. Oh, yeah, that too. Peridot was... I really like her a lot. Gem Hiveman confirmed. Remember to save. Oh, remember to save. Thank you, thank you. Huh, I actually caught up with you guys. Either this means you slowed down or just I sped up. Okay, now I can draw a little bit more. Huh. So, while I'm doing this, because I'm drawing her gem right now, I've seen a lot of people remark that Pink Diamond's gem, actually, the surface is supposed to look different from the pentagonal surface of Stephen's gem, so people were confused at how it works. And I think I figured it out that apparently the only part of a gem that really sticks out in Stephen's and Rose's body is the very tip. So we're not even seeing the cuts, we're just seeing the very tip of the cuts. So that kind of makes sense of why the cuts look so different on her body than they look later on Rose's body and on Stephen's body. So I guess most of Stephen's gut is occupied by this gem. I actually mentioned this to Randy, that like, does this mean that technically Stephen's guts are constantly being pierced by this thing? Which is very uncomfortable, but I guess he just has a very strong stomach. Trained by years of eating fry bits, and not actually fries. Oh, this is working. Oh, you guys are talking already. Again. Start to spam, she can't catch us, guys! Do you think the next Persona series protagonist should be a girl this time? Well, we've had girl protagonists before, they just don't get the spotlights they deserve. Like, Technically the canon protagonist of Persona 2 is Maya Amano. Then Aigis was a protagonist too for one time, and the story mode of Persona 4 Dancing All Night is very female dominated as well. But yeah, it would be really nice to have another female protagonist in a main series game, and especially one who's immediately protagonist and doesn't just become it later on. That would be really nice. I would really enjoy that. I really like drawing Pink Diamond. She's so pretty. As much of a brat as she is. Da, da, da. This is my favorite fusion song. Da, 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 da. Oh my god, I'm getting closer to actually being able to shade this thing. That actually feels amazing at this point. Oh god. I wonder if my siblings have been watching this. Sometimes they tune in on my streams and I don't even know. I happen to have a lot of siblings. I love this song so much. So, okay. Now this side. Okay, and now I have to do the hints here, so make it thinner, maybe make it gray. That should do it. Oh no, I accidentally went through the black here. Can I? Yeah, that should do it. I am a professional! I should probably do it here too. And this should not go up like this. This should go. Yay! Okay, she still has feet. Do not forget that she has feet. Okay. Okay, let's see what you guys have been writing. Hey! What's your favorite SU episode? Mine's Monster Reunion. Okay, my favorite SU episode is Lock Date 715-2, I think was the title, the Lock Date episode. Basically just because it was nice to see an episode from the perspective of someone who was not Steven, and just the dive into Peridot's mindset was fascinating. She's still one of my favorite characters, even if lately she's been a little bit less interesting, but I just really loved how she rationalized everything that was happening around her. It was kind of cool. And I actually ended up translating the entire episode into Japanese just for fun. Like, doing Japanese subtitles for it, without ever having seen the Japanese dub, and I actually think my dubbing for the my dub script is better than the real one. That's just in my opinion. I did it just for fun, and I love this episode. I can't quote it from beginning to end. It's okay. Wow, thanks. So, that's my favorite episode in any case. I want to could Stephen not feel the That's the most evil thing I've ever heard. Let's do it. I don't remember what you're referring to, but the next one is referring to, could Stephen not feel the thing poking into him? So I guess it has to do with the diamond poking into his guts. I hope he never realizes that fact, because it should be very he probably won't be able to unthink it, and then he'll just constantly feel nauseous just because he remembers that the thing is technically poking into his gut. Like he doesn't have enough reasons to feel bad already. Poor kid. Okay, I think your character should be the next one. I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about my avatar character that I have displayed on the screen? I want a blank slate female protagonist with the choice between male and female. With the Japanese society in mind, that would be pretty hard to do, because the fact is, in Japanese society, people just react differently to men and women. So, really, there would have to be some differences in script to make it work. But it could be done. They just have to write the script in a way that it changes certain reactions of people depending on which protagonist you choose. I really liked it how Peace Repeat did it, honestly. I knew they were technically completely different people, but I think it was very well handled, and I think they could do it like that again. The rhythm game episode, the first time we got a hint that Garnet there was a little bit more to Garnet under the surface than we thought. Mostly tiny people playing DDR and getting very competitive about it. Tiny lesbians playing DDR together and getting really into it. I've been waiting to see the real Ruby and Sapphire play DDR against each other ever since. Sapphire just trying to predict every single arrow, while Ruby just uses brute force. So, okay, next one. If Lars enters Lion's head and then tries to go out, he will be coming out of his own head. I don't want to think about that, honestly. It's creepy. I just choose to believe that it's not possible for him to enter the Lion dimension. I think he just can't get in there. Because it would be very weird if he could get in there. I just assume that he can't go at least... but he did get his hand through. Oh god, I don't want to think about what happens. I don't want to think about imploding Lars. It's bad enough that we had stabbed Lars and dead Lars. Imploding Lars would be the final nail in Lars's coffin. Like, okay, not even Stephen could bring him back from that. That would be just a cosmic horror. How do you even explain that to his parents? So your son was immortal, but now he imploded and here's his remains. I hope you have enough left to bury him. You made me think of this. This is your fault. I hope you're happy. Okay. So all that's left is the throne. let me just... Yes, I think all that's left is the throne. Let me just go through this to make sure that I've got everything. But this seems like I got everything. Let me save. Okay, much... Oh, look at the crying Stephen. Look at the pretty princess. So, if you have a velvet room, if you had a velvet room, how do you think it would look like? It would depend on what my adventure is like, and I don't have a... Well, my current adventure is work, so it would be my office. That's what my velvet room would be like right now, because it's office. That's my adventure right now. Office life. Lars became a fave ever since he died. Yeah, that's something that tends to happen with characters. My favorite episodes are all of the Connie episodes. Connie is a great character, so I can't even argue with this. She's really amazing. Do you count the Bonnie episodes with that? Would just be interesting. When you do a fan art live chat video, do you usually finish the video when you're done with drawing or what? I usually finish when I fail to be able to talk in normal human words, which is about now, but I think I can go a little bit longer. What do you think of the Pyramid Temple mural and the campaigning hearts? What do you think? What do you think? Is it foreshadowing? Oh, on the second one I misunderstood you before. With the foreshadowing, I think people are reading too much in the campaigning hearts thing. I think that was mostly something Laura and Suk put in. People have been trying to analyze the hell out of that one, but I don't think that was necessarily foreshadowing. But the mural thing was definitely foreshadowing, with all the hands and everything, and especially the way Rose was portrayed as an almost divine figure. And the moon goddess statue looking like Rose. Like, it's... I think that was supposed to be foreshadowing, but the campaigning hearts thing, I think that's coincidence. That's my opinion, at least. So, and, okay, I misunderstood you there. I said without the choice between male and female, I said, like, no male protag. Yeah, I could get into this, too. I could really get into, just having a female protagonist, canon female protagonist. I would really like that. And I think the male players would not mind that either, because honestly, why wouldn't you want to play as a female characters? From what I can tell, playable female characters tend to be very popular with male gamers too, so I don't know why they don't do it more. Like, look at Chell from Portal. She's got loads of male fans. And I'm saying that it would be popular with the male players too, because that's important. It's important to have your demographic in mind when you do this kind of stuff. But usually they say, well, our demographic wouldn't want that, but I think they would want that, so... Why not... Okay, that is too thick. Then again, the throne is kind of special, so it should be a little thicker. Should be very geometric. My idea with the throne was that it kind of represents diamond mindset. So very thick lines. I think that they give us to choose gender will be really difficult for Atlas. A lot of money. Yeah, that's the thing. But P3P worked. I liked P3P a lot. I know that it's hard to do that again, but I liked how P3P did it. That didn't work. So this is. I should probably. I know how to do this. I'll do it like this. So. And now I'll just delete most of it. Like a professional. Just want this continuing line to actually be a continuing line. Oh, Bloody Key asks, is that his mom? Well, that's technically a spoiler, but they already told you in the chat. So yes, it is technically his mom, but she didn't look like this when she gave birth to it, and she went undercover before that. What did I... Oh, that... yeah, here. So many spoilers. But whatever. Maybe I should have put a spoiler warning on the chat. I hope nobody got too spoiled. But then again, I guess if you're anywhere close to the internet and haven't seen the episode by now, then it's kind of unlikely you haven't been spoiled already, because... the internet. So, throne is coming along. And I know what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna start it like this. And then I'm gonna lessen the pressure here. Good, that works. So, sorry for my silence, but I want to finish this freaking throne. I don't even remember what music this, what episode this music is from. Oh my god, can I still talk? Okay, let's see this. Okay, Alexis Brask thinks the Stevonnie episodes are amazing. Great, because I think that too. I love the Bismuth episode, and the Garnet was 2 kids in a coat. 2 button was great, yeah. Okay, Delta asks, do you identify with any of the 16 personalities? You mean the, basically the 16 personalities that are derived from the MBTI. To that I have to say, the MBTI, I think, is something that is taken too literally by a lot of people, because while it is roughly based on Jung's idea of the ego types, he never really wanted it to be applied as to a categorized personality. So I think it's something very fluent that changes a lot during your life. And like, I used to get inf J, but when my situation was different, when I was more anxious and when my life was generally totally out of whack in a lot of, if I can say it like that. But lately that my situation has been a lot better, I've been getting inf P instead. So, I really think it's something fluent. My personality, and I don't think personality can really be categorized. I do use the MBTI a lot to, as an aid when writing characters, though, to figure out like character archetypes that I'm writing. Like with the novel I'm currently working on, that I'm still currently working on, I use the MBTI to figure out some general directions for the characters, especially the main character. I should finally finish this freaking book. I'm so close to the end too. As you can see, I put the diamond sigil everywhere. Okay, it's a way to romance male characters without Atlas making us gay, which could mean P for a magician link. Which they could, I mean P for a magician link, yeah. I generally wish they'd just, like, let us romance whoever we want and let the character's sexuality speak for themselves. I mean, but the whole thing with the romance roots, I'm going to make a video about this, but I don't like romance roots in Persona anyway. So I don't really care about romancing characters because I don't like the romance roots. So it's really not that big an issue for me because, again, I don't wanna anyway. I don't even wanna. So don't worry. I don't worry too much about this. I'd rather they just focus on actually writing good romance for once, which they haven't done so far. Again, there's going to be a video about that relatively soon. How many times have I had that song going on already? At least I'm almost done with this throne. And I think I'll do the color tomorrow because I am really beat by now. I didn't think this would take so long, but I always underestimate the how long drawings take to complete. Yay! I think that does it. So let me just... Yeah, that seems about right. I mean, it's not the most precise out there. Okay, let me just fix this. This bugs me. Okay. This... Oh, this is on a different layer because I am a genius, that's why. Okay, I think I briefly timed out here. I hope it's okay now. So, good. So, before we wrap up for tonight, Before we wrap up for tonight and tomorrow, I'm going to do the colors. Let me just answer the remaining questions. So, what did we get here? No line is too thick for Stephen. I see what you did there. What are you getting your mom for Mother's Day? My mom doesn't like Mother's Day, so I'm not getting her anything. I'm just being a good person, like always. A good daughter, like always. Because I love my mom, but she doesn't like Mother's Day. Those lines are so thick that Greg is starting to fall in love with them. Oh, God! I think he'd still love Rose even if he knew that she was actually just very tall and thin rather than very tall and thick. I think he loves her as she is. Being the stature just helps. P3P rocks because it was a visual novel with combat. I think a game as big as P5 will lead in a lot of resources and satellites. Well, Atlas does kind of have more resources now. They used to be very short on cash, but it's gotten better, so let's see what we can await. Miles Edgeworth rolling eyes, I don't know why. Oh, I know why, but yeah, okay. Questions. What is your novel about? I'm currently writing a sort of slice of life novel with a bit of a urban fantasy touch. Okay, the basic plot summary, as I always explain it, is there's this girl who was recently adopted. She was an orphan. And the room she's now staying in has a boy in it that only she can see and only she can hear. And she wants to get rid of him. And that is the basic premise of my novel, Shadow Brother, that I'm currently writing. It's a very psychological story, big surprise with me. It's a growing up story with a lot being about finding your own worth and learning how to balance your own self-worth with the expectations that people have in you. I have the entire ending planned out. I just need to write it down, and I'll probably get around to do this finally in the coming weeks. And then I'll get it proofread and edited and all that good stuff. And maybe sometime this year I'll actually go somewhere with it. I hope I will. I've been working on it for quite a while. So, I don't know what this Amen is about, but I hope it... Whatever I did, I'm glad I did it right. I like your last Persona video that you made. Thank you. I'm really glad that it worked out as well as it did. I worked on it a really long time, and I'm just glad I got it out. So, Kasuna, I refuse to live this... Oh god, you guys posted more and this chat somehow stopped. I refuse to leave this earth until we get more queer characters in the Persona series. I just generally want more diversity everywhere. Like, I want straight characters, I want queer characters, I want all kinds of characters, and I just want people to be creative with them. I don't want them to be written like labels or to be written like stereotypes. I want just people to be... You have so many options, don't limit yourself. Do whatever comes to you. You have so many options. This is what I think Steven Universe does right. They don't limit themselves. They just do whatever seems right for their character. And that's one of the big strengths of the show, I think. And I think more media needs to do it like that. Just do whatever the hell seems right for the character. Not what is uncontroversial or common, but just what seems like it would fit for the character. So Calm Kelly asks, do you practice tarot? I do. I own 3 tarot sets, and I do tarot readings, especially when I need some pointers in my life. But I don't treat it as fortune telling. I think of it more as a way to stimulate my own subconscious mind to think of ideas that I wouldn't have thought of before. And I just realized that there's a line here that shouldn't be there. I had the chance to to find this line. Thank you very much. Go away, line. Nobody loves you. You're a lie. So, where was I? Oh yeah, I do read tarot, as I said, but as I said, I see it as a way to stimulate my unconscious mind to find ideas that I didn't have before. I don't think it's magic, I just think it's a way for me to tap into ideas outside the box that I haven't thought of before. And it really works well. I often come up with really good motivational thoughts that I wouldn't have come up with before. I would have been stuck in loops before if I hadn't tried this. So yeah, I do card readings. I love doing it. I own decks. I own an Angel Tarot deck, which I got from my mom. I own a Mucha Tarot deck, which it's an Art Nouveau Tarot deck, which I really love. This one I bought myself, and it's so pretty. And I own a tarot deck which only has the major arcana, which came with the special edition of Vision of Escaflowne. It's a replication of the tarot cards that the main character of Vision of Escaflowne uses, and they are also really pretty. I also really like using them. Okay, people talking about pizza here and ordering Mexican, so I don't think that concerns me, so let's skip it. What's the most difficult boss fight you have ever fought in a Persona game? Mine is Margaret. Okay, I suck at video games. I love them, but I suck at them. I rarely ever do bonus bosses. So let me think about this. The most difficult fight in a Persona game that I've done is probably Izanami, because I never actually beat her. I gave up and ended up watching the ending online because I need to do this one of these days. But yeah, I lost to Izanami. I let Inaba down. So yeah, now you know that about me. Anyway, moving on. Next one. Something more about Mexican food. Goodbye, Kasuna. See ya. And I can tell you about the Art Nouveau Tarot deck sometime if I manage. Stop acting so edgy, Edward. So, do you have an OC? I just said that I'm writing a novel, right? So I do have a lot of original characters. It's just most of them are not for franchises that already exists. They are for my own novels, for my own works, and I do have plenty of characters from works that I made up, but explaining them would require to explain the entire work. I guess what the closest thing that I could explain is the little avatar character that I'm using here, which is me. But she's Neni, and the difference between her and me is that she exists in a world where nothing but these videos exist, basically. She's a me that only exists while I'm doing videos. That's the idea behind it, at least. That's why she's so much more constantly secure and adorable than I am. And I think we ran out of Steven Universe music. I think it's... This is probably a sign. Yeah, I do have Escaflowne tarot cards. Neni, how much analytical psychology are you in? I read a lot of Jung's work, and I don't have a degree in it, but I do have, I did do an extracurricular course on Freudian psychology because Jungian wasn't available. So I do know quite a bit about it, but I don't have a degree. The meme lot is going to eliminate Ohio. Okay, good. Maybe you could make it gameplay fighting Izanami someday. Maybe I should try. I do mean that OC means original key. Oh, you're replying to bloody key. Okay, good. Good. So that should be all for now, and I think I'm really spent. It's really late night now, and I managed to do the line work, which is pretty good. I can actually get to shading tomorrow. I actually thought I could do more today, but apparently no. This drawing takes a lot of time, especially when you're talking doing it. Well then. Sorry, no more questions. I used to watch SpongeBob, that's all I'm going to say. And I haven't played a tabletop RPG yet, but I'm planning to. Okay, before you ask any more questions, I need to go to bed. It's late and I'm tired and I can't concentrate anymore. But I'm so glad you guys enjoyed this. I'm so glad you guys had fun with this. The music is out. I finished the line work. I loved doing this. I'm so glad that you guys enjoyed it. Well then, thank you all for being here. See you all soon. I'll try to stream again soon. Let's see what I'm doing next time. The sky's the limit, as I've been saying. Well then, see ya. This has been Nenilein. Bye.